Xfinity Series. Brady LaBeouf will win the championship and the race in the Butt Kicker 250.
Keith Bradley gets his second championship on the Friday Night Series for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series Season 8. This rookie season, he will win the championship for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series here on the Nazareth 360 Network. Tonight, it's the ServPro 275 at Talladega Superspeedway. 275 miles, 100 laps. I am Steve Bartlett, Dean Hopton on the production booth, and Wesley Outland will be joining us here shortly.
Yes, good evening, Steve. Good evening, everybody. Welcome, of course, to your Tuesday night's Blanchard's Xfinity Series, as you just mentioned. And drivers are underway for their qualifying session. And a pretty stacked grid as well, too, Steve. So as we're progressing deeper and deeper into the season, let's pull up currently our schedule and see how far we've gone and how far we have to go there, my friend. Very, very soon I'll show that up there. But good evening, everybody. Welcome, of course, to more motor racing. It's the big one. It's Dega. You know that Jacob the Redneck Reeves will be loving this one. He certainly loves this track, and he will be out there racing alongside a stacked grid.
Yeah, we are currently in week 2 of the Elite 16 playoffs, and that'll wrap up in Sonoma next week, and we'll go on to the next round of the playoff series here at the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series.
That's excellent. I didn't realize we were in the playoffs already, mate. I'll have to get some graphics for that to show us how deep we are in those playoffs and how the point situation is progressing. So forth. Well, Dega, how do you feel about this track? Stephen, you have a copy?
Sorry, push the wrong button. This is also one of my favorite tracks. Talladega, Daytona, I always do really good in, usually finish in the top 5, as long as I don't get wrecked out. If I get wrecked out, of course, that's a different story. But yeah, I love these two tracks. It's knuckle-to-knuckle racing, door-to-door, bumper-to-bumper the whole time. It's just a lot of fun.
It certainly will be, and we'll see how much still banging that the drivers want to have. We'll see whether or not my new computer will hold up to prevent any of that blinking issue, hopefully. G'day, Charles, out there. How's it going? And it's time for some racing. Brandon Schumann, say good luck to my Chrome Racing team mate, Tristan Bruce. And, of course, Tristan Bruce has probably got a whole bunch of family out there watching as well, too. So if you are watching anybody, supporting anybody, please just shout out and say hello. I don't bite much. Stevie might every once in a while. But it should be a good one at this very, very large super speedway. So 4 wide, not a problem, mate. 5 wide even, right?
Yes, sir. They'll go 4 or 5 wide. And I need to make a correction. We are not at the Talladega in the playoffs yet. That's still about at least 6 weeks out. So jumped the gun on that one, but we are at Talladega for the middle of the season. And yes, 4 or 5 wide is not uncommon here. Obviously, the drivers don't like to do that because it makes things really tight, especially into the turns. Sometimes these drivers have a hard enough time going 3 wide in the turns. But Talladega supports that, I think, a lot better than Daytona. Daytona, you can go 3 wide, but it's a narrower track, so it's a lot tighter racing.
And for some of our race details up there this evening, we will basically go staying green on the lap 25. The thing here at Nazareth, they like to mix things up a little bit and not have the same things every single race. So we will have a stage 1 be completed. They'll stay green. Then I'll talk to you in a second about that pit stop strategy as well. And then at lap 50, halfway through the race, we will have a caution and we will conclude stage 2. And then it's a sprint race to the end, the 50. Now, Steve, going on that situation, as we currently are watching Mark Nelson putting his qualifying laps in. Fuel and tyres, how far can you get?
Yep, the first 2 stages, they won't have to worry about it too much. I figure right around lap 85, 90, they will need to pit in that 3rd stage. Pit windows 32 to 38 laps after they take on fuel and new tires. So I'm thinking about right around lap 85, 90, somewhere in there. They'll have a green flag stop. Other than that, it'll be into the stage cautions.
So they'll definitely go, pending no cautions, straight through to our first stage break.
Correct.
Right. And this stack grid, what do you think your odds are of a bit of NASRA chaos occurring? We've got only 25 drivers at the moment that have actually put a qualifying lap in, but there are a lot more drivers than that. In fact, I think that is wrapping up our qualifying. It has finished, so we'll get that grid up for you there, Steve, to go through. But you've got a lot of names to read through, and a lot of them that haven't even put a lap in. They're just going for gold, if anything. But anyway, here is the grid for us this evening, Steve.
Talladega is one of those tracks that you can anybody could win it. I mean, you could start back there in the 37th spot, and then by the end of the race, you could win it. It's not that hard to do at these super speedways with the bump drafting. So in the first row, on the inside in pole position, Greg McConan with DCD Racing. On his outside in the second spot will be Michael Larch in the number 11, his Swamp Fox Motorsports. Then we have in row 2, Mark Nelson in the 86, Jonathan Cofield in the 58. Row 6, Octavio Rondeletto. Not sure what his car number is, it's not showing, but then we have Darren Bruce on his outside in the 14. Row 4, Joshua Suss in the 80, Ryan Johnson in the 38. Row 5, inside Lucas Lyons in the 18, Lotero Lamperti, the Butcher, on his outside. And in row 6, Justin White on the inside in the number 2, Peyton Hubbard in the 51 on his outside. And then we have in row 7, Tristan Bruce, Matt Cherry. Row 8, Noah Rainwater, Holden McGill. Row 9, Colin Weatherholt, Bo Tiffany. Row 10 is Peyton Johnson, Gerald Poole. Row 11, Tyler Goodwin, Dean Gagliano. Row 12, Richie Joplin and Jeffrey Johnson the second. And in row 13, Dustin Castile, Dean Doucette. Row 14, Drew Ballesteros and Adam Newton. Row 15, Bernard Persson and our own Jacob, the redneck announcer Reeves on his outside. And row 16, Austin Evie, Trevor Williams. Row 17, Brett Tucker, Robert Richards, because that'd be row 19, row 19, Brett Tucker and Robert Richards. And row 20 is Keith Haney and Jason Pixelos. That will round out your drivers. Cody Knott, yep. TJ Moore. Cody Knott will be in 37th, and TJ Moore is our race director for the night. He'll be the one putting out the end of lines if somebody causes an accident.
Thank you very much. There's a lot to go through there, Steve. We'll be waiting on Wesley. Usually he's finishing up, wrapping up some real-life broadcasting commitments, and then he'll be jumping in the booth as soon as possible. So, 36 Gladiators. Not quite sure if Robert Richards is going to be starting on that at the moment, so we'll cut it down to 35. Talladega can handle it. The old Dega. It's big enough, it's wide enough, and it's quick enough to handle these Gladiators. this evening, and they're on the back stretch at the moment. Don't forget, we've got lots more racing for us this week on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, because tomorrow night, my friend, we head off to the Cup Series. And then we got the Thursdays with the Goat Locker Racing, and then Fridays we finish up the wrap up the week there with the Concerns of Police Survivors. So plenty of motor racing to keep you all occupied for your evenings. Tristan Bruskas at Schumann, and Sharon out there saying, "Oh no, teammates Schumann and T. Bruce." Oh, all right. So have we got beef already out there in the chat? On track before we've even started. Just to let everybody know, there's Trishan, because the Trishan fan club is there. The number 3, currently in P13th place. But it's kind of what you said. Qualifying isn't as important on a super speedway like this. Do you think there, Steve?
Well, I think it all depends on the driver themselves. I personally like to qualify because I like to be up towards the front. That's where usually the least accidents happen. And the middle of the pack and back is where most of the wrecks start. And don't get me wrong, they can start up front too, but to me it's safer to be up front than it is back there in the back.
Some of the cameras the drivers would like to share with us for this race, we have 2 of them. And I'm just having a quick look for Greg McConey, our pole sitter. He's kind enough to share us his cam. And there's Greg. Hey, Greg, give us a wave. We should be ready to focus up, because this will be the last lap around the pilot pace car. Then they'll be going green, and that'll be pedal to the absolute metal. As Jacob would like to say, you'd be cautious with your loud pedal that you don't crack the egg too hard. The Paw Patrol number 12 machine is on patrol, and his patrol will be leading the rest of the field into turn 1 when they go green. So good luck to yourself there, Greg, and put yourself in the best position at the moment to avoid a potential wreck. Right, Steve?
Yeah, this is one of them tracks like Daytona. There's no braking here unless there's a wreck. It's pedal to the metal the whole way, bumper to bumper, door to door, white knuckle racing. It's I really love this type of racing. It's a lot of fun. It's nerve-wracking sometimes, but they're a lot of fun.
Schumann isn't in this, yes. I knew that. I was just making sure you were paying attention out there. I'm kidding. No, thanks for allowing me that one. Sorry, guys. It's just about 36 names to go through on the screen, and I've got thousands of other buttons and stuff like that with the production, so we'll get on top of that. Apologies. So we have everybody from the Americas in this field, and 2 of them, one of them Dean Desette from North America, and 2 of them from South America, and that's Octavio and the Butcher, Lampetti. So we'll keep an eye on them. Those teammates like to work together quite well, and there's not many times you don't see them together on track as well, working together as teammates. But Barney the Flag Man will be ready to get this one started, my friend, as they approach the final turn. These are large turns here at Dega. Can't even see the cars yet. That's how much Barney's sitting there waving, holding that. He's like, come on, I'm holding this flag up. It's heavy.
That pace car is off as they're getting ready to come around the bend on the front stretch. The start-finish line's a little bit farther past where they normally would be, and we got the green flag. And refresh. No, something's wrong with the live timing. So we got McConey out front, Larch on his outside, Nelson in the 88 right behind McConey, with Cofield right behind Larch as they come out of turn 2 into the backfield. Got some pushing and some shoving, but that's normal for these types of tracks. As Larch jumps out to the lead now, comes down the track to the inside in front of Jonathan Cofield.
Rubbing his racing hat, they're just ready. What the hell are you thinking, Moose? Well, it didn't take long, I tell you, for the Argentinian drivers to start bunching up together. They currently are running 7th and 8th on track there with Octavio, and the Butcher's done he's gained himself. We've got 3 wide forming already, with Greg McConey dropping back a couple of places up against the fence there. That's the number 14. That's Darren Bruce. My apologies. He's dropping as he went onto the high line. He needs backup. Somebody's going to call. He's going to call the radio. Come and help me up here, guys. I'm dropping like a 929 stock exchange because you need to push. You certainly need some slipstream around here, mate.
Yeah, you will lose a lot of spots if you go up there in that top lane by yourself or just with one other car. You need at least 3 cars in order to stay on pace with these other guys, as we see Michael Larch now coming out of turn 4 on the bottom, and Jonathan Cofield, I believe that is, might be Greg McConey on the top above him. Be the number 12. Greg McConey is on top above him, trying to take the lead away from him as they come into turn 1 and exiting turn 2.
Yeah, just bear with me for a second there, Steve. I've just spilled some water. Got to clean that up quickly.
No worries. Still trying to make that outside line work up there at the top. Not quite enough help yet for that 51 car of Peyton Hubbard. Can't tell who's behind him yet. Coming out of turn 4, back onto the front side of the track. Across the start-finish line again on be on lap 4. 3 laps completed. Again, Greg McConey is out on top in the lead on that top line. Underneath them is Michael Larch. Everybody is 2 by 2 till you get farther in the back, where they single out a little bit. Here comes that top line. Everybody just came out right behind Peyton Hubbard. Some of them fell back down to that middle second line. There's a few of them up there on that top line for a second, and that would have helped Hubbard get up there towards the front with Larch and McConey. Five laps completed now. McConey and Larch going back and forth on the lead. Quite common here at Talladega and Daytona. A lot of lead changes, mainly because these guys are racing side by side, and a lot of it depends on the momentum and the draft. Who's pushing, who's not.
Come on, Screaming
McConey
Eagles.
comes back down.
Sorry, Scotty's shouting out there. Greg McConey is still in the lead of this one. And let's have a look at the concentration on the driver's face in the bottom right-hand corner. There he is. He's going to hold on here for a second. He's getting a bit of an attack mounting, but we'd expect a little bit of shifteroo happening between the drivers. So far, you'd have to give it to one driver, mate, in this grid. That's probably been our biggest gainer, and that's Keith Hanley. And there he is right there. Keith Hanley is up 18 places so far, slicing his Dyson through a field, so he's got a very good start there for the 87 Ford.
Tristan Bruce in 4th and Noah Rainwater currently in 6th are both up 9 spots from where they started.
Absolutely
gaining some
right.
ground.
You can see there on the bottom right. Currently at the moment, Tristan and Noah Rainwater. 9 gains each. Ron Johnson. Tiny Horseman is getting it done too. He's up 6 and he's breaking the air at the front alongside Greg McConey. And we'll spy in on Ryan Johnson's cam as well too. He wears a VR headset, so we've spoken to Ryan Johnson many times as he's been a race winner. Of course, just really quickly on our schedule, there it is right there. So Ryan Johnson, of course, is lucky to have 2 of them. Colin Weatherbolt has got 2 race wins up his belt there, and Holden McGill. Now, yeah, it's one big difference that you're going to have on the grid here this evening is that you do not have any Weatherbolt. Oh, sorry, Colin is in here. My apologies. He's running.
Yes, he is.
I was looking at the top end of the business end at the moment. He's in P21st at the moment. He's dropped 4 places, but he's not a man that finishes. Let's say he'll finish up in a higher position, no doubt. He's got plenty of time. We've got plenty of laps to go. Of course, we have 194 to go, but we have only a handful to go for our first stage break, which, as you can see underneath on the tower there, we'll finish on lap 25.
Everybody playing nice right now. I don't expect anything too much till we get into that 3rd stage after the second stage caution flag. Usually that's when that Nazar Chaos comes out. Right now, we got Ryan Johnson now in the lead. Greg McConey right behind him. The number 3, Tristan Bruce, above McConey, leading that second line. And right behind McConey is Michael Larch in the 11 car, as they are coming into turn 3 now on lap 8. Wrapping up lap 8 when they start finish line this time.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic that I touch wood, my computer is handling everything at the moment just fine. In fact, I'm looking at my new processor is handling at about 40 to 50%, which this simulation can absolutely destroy, send your CPU through the roof, because iRacing only uses a certain amount of threads for the CPU. It doesn't even barely touch the GPU, the graphics card, at all, unfortunately. I think they are working on that in the future, but usually my graphics card's about bigger than my motherboard is too, as well, mate. So it's a pity it's not utilizing it all. But they have plans for that in the future, and it'll make it look even more prettier as well, as we are getting 3 wide, start to form up now. Hopefully Wesley will be joining us soon too. There we go, mate. There's a couple of rows.
I think the biggest test for your CPU right now would be the first wreck.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah,
like
I was thinking the Nazareth
when your
chaos.
CPU wants to go.
That's true. Yeah. Because all the timing information is going to be provided 100 times an hour. Because at the moment it's predictable because they're pointing straight and they're going a certain speed. That's fine. But when there's cars flipping upside down on their lid into the fence, bits and pieces are flying off the cars everywhere, that's when it starts crunching everything as the drivers are crunching their way around the backstretch to start another lap soon. They're on lap 10. 91 to go. And of course, we get the stage break with 15 to go.
And Wesley Outland is now joining us in the booth. Wesley,
hey,
how you doing?
What's up, man? Sorry, guys. I had a football broadcast obligation. I had to do it at a sports bar, as we always do. The playoffs are looming, and just got in from that. But, yeah, man, always enjoy working with you guys. We're with the Nazareth Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series, and Steven, it's Talladega. You know we love Talladega, 2.66 mile Superspeedway racing, and right now Bruce up in front, but he's got some nice bump draft help from Rainwater. Johnson on the inside. They go out the racetrack into turn 1.
Yeah, so far everything's been nice and clean. No cautions yet, Wes, and just had nice smooth. Yeah,
hey,
some nice smooth racing.
Yeah, Steve, do you want to tell Wesley that little surprise or the thing I did last night? A certain driver that I broadcasted and commentated for?
You can do it.
Yeah, Wesley. Well, put it this way. He's currently racing in the Xfinity Series in the United States, and he's from New Zealand. I think you're about to put 2 and 2 together on that one.
He's from, are you talking about Shane Van Gisbergen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For an Australian NASCAR Series. Yeah.
Look at that. So
he was
right out of the
gate.
He
was in the fall
for
the finale. Yeah, good. Well, I expected him, mate. You're a walking Wikipedia of racing knowledge.
I don't know about all that. I get it wrong sometimes. But, yeah, man, that's pretty cool. Shane Van Gisbergen, of course, won his first career start in NASCAR Cup Series last year at the streets of Chicago, the Chicago Street Race, and, of course, runs in the Xfinity Series. Look at this now, down the back straightaway. Bruce up in front. For how long, though? What a good, strong pack of cars there working into turn 3. On board. Look at that. Ryan Johnson. Hello. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, he's a 2-time winner, isn't he, gentlemen? That we're just going full on schedule. So we got 2-time winners so far with Colin Weatherbolt, and that man himself, Ryan Johnson, and Holden McGill. And a stacked grid too, Wesley. As you can see, there's 35 brave souls taking on Dega.
And look at the awesome group too, man. They're all stacked up with one another, all in line, looking good. So we put another lap on the board here. Right now, Noah Rainwater on the outside. Got a push with help from Matt Cherry. That'll put him to the lead. Now he'll dive to the bottom of the racetrack and throw the block in front of Tristan Bruce. Now we'll go 3 wide. Up on the outside, Chevrolet Deuce. That's Justin White. He's got help with Suss on the outside lane as they work Steven off turn 4. And it's Rainwater still hugging the bottom off 4.
Yeah, we've had a couple of cars up there almost the whole evening. Have not been able to do much until now. Justin White got that big push by Joshua Suss, and finally a couple of more cars have jumped up there to give them a hand. The 51 of Peyton Hubbard he was leading that top line for quite a while, just couldn't get nothing going. So he went down to do the middle row. And now Justin White popped up top, and several cars have followed him up now. So that top line should be getting ready to go and be competitive.
Look at them working to turn 3. Johnson up high. He's in that middle lane. White, Suss up on the top. Carry also the 51 of Hubbard up on the outside. That's a new name, by the way. 3 by 3. We're in stage 1. Remember, they'll work lap 25, and we will stay under the green flag to go to the Glass Mechanic stage 2. But right now, the tiny horse, Johnson, up the middle. The man out of Wisconsin back to the lead. Rainwater battles back on the inside as they work up the bank in 2.
The 05 of Noah Rainwater on the bottom now, just above him. The 38 of Ryan Johnson just took the lead. They're going back and forth at it right now. Justin White still leading that top line, and since these guys will go green at the end of the stage, I expect them to pit right around lap 35, 40, somewhere in there. That'll be about as far as they can go. We'll get some fresh tires and top off that Sunoco fuel list.
Yeah, got to make those pit stops, obviously, as they work their way down through the tri-oval. 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 as they thunder their way off of turn 4 through the tri-oval, back to the start-finish line, which is at the end of pit road, right before you go into turn number 1, up that 33 degrees of banking again, working into 1 and 2. It's still going to be Rainwater. He's hugging the bottom as they hit the Alabama Gang super stretch.
Dean, if you can, let's see inside the cockpit with that gyro cam on the number 2 of Justin White. He's up there at the top. And
the gyro cam. Gyro
show these our fans how steep that really is.
Whoa.
Because it don't look that steep when you're actually riding it. Uh-oh, maybe I made a mistake.
Did we lose? Dean, are you there?
I'm here.
Hello?
I'm here. I think the software is playing up a little bit, gentlemen.
Oh, I can't hear you. Check your satellites.
I broke your CPU.
You're broken it. I can't. I can hear you. We can hear the drivers out there. I hope everybody can hear it. I'm streaming it, okay? It's just maybe a Discord issue at the moment. So
it's everything, guys. I lost time in the
One second,
scoring. I
everybody.
lost track map.
all right, gentlemen. Should be better now. It's just a Discord issue. We didn't lose any pictures out there for the audience. Give that one a shot now, gentlemen.
All right, I think we're back now. Had a little hiccup there, but I think we're back up and going. All systems go.
Cha-ching.
Elon had to adjust his satellites in Australia.
I do have it. I do have that as well. Yes. I do have
You
it.
are using Starlink. That's right. Yeah. Ryan Johnson on the bottom of the racetrack, and they'll work their way back off the corner. Listen, you got to realize, everybody, okay, in addition to all these drivers, close to 40 that are here doing the iRacing broadcast in the server, you've got me in North Carolina, in Smithfield, North Carolina. You've got our colleague, Stephen Bartlett, the Viking. He's up in Oregon State. What part of Oregon you from, Stephen?
Eugene, Oregon.
Eugene, Oregon. Okay, so Eugene, Oregon. And then you've got our buddy in Australia. Yes, all the way across the other world in a different time zone. I think it's daytime while it's nighttime over here. Mr. Big Old Steve Hopton on production. What time is it? Like 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock? Like
just after midday, so 12:30.
There you go. Just after lunchtime, 12:30 in the afternoon.
And I'm subbing tonight for Jason. He's in the UK, so you guys
Jason did tell me he was going out of the country. Yeah, man. So for sure, thanks again. Going to be working with Steven tomorrow night and Thursday. I think he said he's going to be available Thursday. Boy, I tell you what, Stephen Bartlett's going to get quite a paycheck from Nazareth this week. Monday through Friday, right? I think it is.
Thursday will be a volunteer session, but I have 4 races this week paid. So
It certainly all helps and tough times, as we're aware. Especially I had to pay my computer off as well too. That I just spent a bit of pretty coin on, but we want to make those pictures look good out there, and I'm a little tired of that blinking issue that's happening all the time, gentlemen. So touch wood. It's good. My little processor's cranking along at about 41%, which is about what the gas is left on these cars at the moment, right,
I
guys?
can promise you, as frustrated as we get, or as frustrated as the audience can get with the technical issues, it definitely bugs the hell out of us on the production side of things, because we want to put together a top-tier broadcast, and when stuff doesn't go right, I promise you don't want to be listening to commercial break. So we definitely try our best to make it go good. And so does Dean Hopton. Look at all the cool things he does, like the graphic. Where's the leader at? Where's the little arrow with the leader, their name? All those cool things he does, and onboard cameras and more. Look at this. There it is. Peyton Johnson asking you shall receive. And look at this pyramid as they're working off the corner, coming to 4 to go in stage 1, Stephen.
And as long as as long as Dean ignores me and doesn't do what I ask with the cockpit camera, we'll be all right.
Yeah, very good with that one.
Peyton Johnson on the inside in that showing 15.
Gyro cam. You
Peyton
broke it the last time. He didn't do it this time, Stephen.
Yeah. I wanted a shot of that higher line, that third line, because that's the steepest angle of the whole track. But for whatever reason, it didn't like doing that. So, but Greg McConey is now taking the lead on that bottom. Oh, and he's been pushed off.
No. Does he save it? He does. Stays to the inside below the double yellow line. McConey shuffles from the penthouse to the outhouse. Look at the look on his face. He's like, yeah, this is not good. I don't like this.
Oh, that's a big one.
There we go.
Oh, trouble. Cofield. Harris. Oh, man. Well, there's the big one
already.
That's the big one. And on top of it, gentlemen,
or at least the start of a big one.
Didn't even break a sweat to 80. So, will that be with 3 laps to go? Will that be the stage break? And do you feel, gentlemen, or do you think they'll re-rack them, restack them?
I do. Yeah, I think so. I think this will be the end of stage number 1. I don't think we can get back into the green flag before the end of stage 1. But besides, we'd go green flag into stage 2 anyway. Here's a Pulse Poppers instant replay. What happened? Remember what happened to Greg McConey? That might be the best thing that happened for the number 12, because Peyton Johnson got turned into the pack and literally just got slung like a rag doll in front of the pack, in the front pack is what I meant to say, in front of everyone else. This is what happened. Look at this. Just comes unglued here. Man.
This is unfortunate too for Keith. That's blinked out for a second, but he was a big gain up through the field as well too for the 87 machine, and just like that's the only problem when you're in the middle of the pack, gentlemen. You know that you end up getting involved in a wreck. A few other drivers to have a little bit of a peek at, had nowhere to go. You can see Dan almost got through there for the green machine. Didn't quite. What about Jason? Another one that had to try to avoid the wreck, gentlemen. And where do you go? Boom, he got tagged by the 15. Let's go back to the live pictures.
Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. We got guys coming down pit road. They're boxing. That's another Pulse Poppers instant replay. And again, just a tough break for Johnson, Harris, whole bunch of other cars. Dustin Castile and others as we go under the caution here for the first time. Let's look on pit road. They're boxing in here, Steven. It looks like Rainwater's boxed in. He's blocked.
What is Rainwater doing? That's not going to be very good for your team. He's backing up too. I mean, you got to get those tires on, mate. You can't have them like jumping over the top of the car and reaching over the back there, and the air gun doesn't even go that far.
We have Jason Casillas in the 17, Bo Tiffany in the 35, and Keith Haney in the 87 all have meatball flags, so they will be sitting on the pit road for quite a while getting those repairs done.
Well, that will be the stage break. Hopefully, we get a confirmation from race control, TJ Moore and Cody Knott, although they haven't been using our race control messages of late. But anyway, if that would be the case, who would it be, gentlemen, that gets the crosses the line and gets that one?
I would say that the last cars up in the front before the caution flag was displayed would be the top 10. So if we could go back to the replay of the big wreck, and whoever was up in front in the top 10, it looks like it's going to be Justin White.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Justin White, maybe Suss.
Because then there's the accident behind.
There's the accident. So you see Cofield, the 15, Johnson, all these other guys got taken out. The 21 on the bottom Hey, there's our 21. There's Holden McGill. I think he'll be credited with at least third or fourth. And Jeffrey Johnson, Ryan Johnson, some of these other guys that'll be credited with the top 10. And again, they were scheduled to stay green flag into stage number 2, but now we are under a yellow flag. That'll let us step away to thank some sponsors. We'll be back with more from Talladega in just a moment.
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
And we're back here getting ready for stage number 2 to get underway, presented by the Glass Mechanic. Let's obviously grab the stage 1 winner because of the accident that happened off turn 4 entering the tri-oval. Justin White, of course, our buddy out of Scotland, the Chevrolet. He'll win stage 1. And Justin, that black and gold Deuce looking good right now. How's that Chevrolet doing, sir?
Pretty good, pretty good. We got the, sorry, we got a little bit of a head cold going on, but we got that third lane working. And, as long as we keep the aero push on those guys, I think we're okay. And that's what happened. That's what we did. We pushed Peyton out there, and then we turned around and pushed another, I think, one of our teammates out there. And then we just got lucky and got the final push and pushed it to the inside, and we held it, and away we went. And luckily we got the stage.
That's the guy with Highline Racing, Justin White. And we are getting ready to come to the green flag. Good luck the rest of the way, man. Stage 2. Go get it.
Yep. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
By the way, don't forget, Justin White also behind the NASCAR Cup Series. That'll be tomorrow night as well. Make sure you join us for that event. I believe we're at Pocono tomorrow night, NASCAR Cup Series, as you can join us Monday through Friday as the field came back to the Geico Restart Zone. Of course, last night we had, of course, the NASCAR DSR Electric Truck Series playoffs. Tonight, Xfinity and Talladega presented by Blanchard Stowe, and the NASCAR Cup Series presented by TLC Incorporated and Premier Racing Setups. Goat Locker Racing, Arca Thunder. On, of course, Thursday night, I'll be in the booth filling in for our buddy, Mr. Jacob Reeves. And then the NASCAR Tops Truck Series on Friday night. They're in the playoffs.
Yes, they are. It's been amazing what Justin White has done with that Cup Series that airs tomorrow night. He's done a great job. So we got Justin White on the inside coming across the start-finish line, and on his outside is Holden McGill, I believe that is. Or is it Joshua Suss? I can't catch a card number on there.
Understanding what happened to Noah Rainwater at the penalty on pit road, or at least getting blocked on pit road, the spotter never counted down my box, and that's what happened to him, where he got kind of sideways on the pit lane. This is stage number 2. We're in, of course, stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. And right now, Suss, the leader down the back straightaway. Speaking of TLC Incorporated, the sprinklers on the number 80 up in front. Not anymore. Justin White on the side of the lead as they work in 3.
Justin White leading on that bottom line. Joshua Suss leading the top line right behind. Joshua is Ryan Johnson in that. Holden McGill in the 21. Imagine that, Holden McGill up front. seen that quite a bit this year in that 22 of Colin Weatherholt now coming up to the front on that top line.
There's a look at the schedule. Obviously, tonight we're at Talladega. Next Tuesday night, we're road course racing at Sonoma. 60 laps at Sonoma Raceway. Bristol on the way. Little short track racing. That's the next couple of weeks for those Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. We are in season number 3 for this program. Obviously, the inaugural series champion was Peyton Johnson. Ross Tatum, though not running with us this year, is the defending crown holder of the season, of season 2. This is season 3. And, you know, Dean, I'll bring you back in here. One of the things I love about NASCAR is so long-standing, right? I mean, you're looking at 9 seasons for the NASCAR Cops Truck Series. 5 seasons coming up after we conclude the playoffs for the NASCAR DSR Electric Truck Series. 3rd season of the NASCAR Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Goat Locker Racing, I think, is in their 3rd or 4th year. The Cup Series, obviously, I look to see good things in their inaugural year. It's really awesome to see the long-standing commitment of the drivers, much less the NASCAR sanctioned body to keep going and staying.
Yeah, and I'm glad I've only been a part of this this fantastic racing network for give or take. I'll be getting closer to a year now, but you know, Brady and Cody have been absolutely fantastic, and alongside to join a perfect crew like yourself there, Wesley, yourself there, Steve. We've had a couple other commentators as well too, and Jacob. It's just been great, and I didn't know, you know, always honest. I'm not going to be honest because I am always honest. I didn't know that much about oval racing, NASCAR Truck Series, and all that, and Xfinity Series, and I've grown up into it. I've grown up love and passion to it because you guys know that I come from a road course, F1, those sort of cars, GT3s, and all that sort of stuff. This is just a whole different level. It's not as easy as some people that don't get into it thinking, oh, it's just turning left. No, it's precision racing. I've said this multiple times. And it's exciting because you don't see anybody up the road here by about 50 seconds, you know, because when I do broadcast these other races, I don't even show the leader sometimes until they cross the line at the end because they're just so far up the road. You won't get that here at NASCAR. You won't get that, buddy. Not many drivers going that far up the road.
Justin White in the lead. He's on the inside. Suss in the middle. McGill up on the outside lane. All this going on as they work their way back into turn number 1, Steve.
Yeah, in the official races on iRacing, I've had a couple of times where one of the European drivers who normally do road courses, they'll come in and do the oval, and they're saying, oh, this is going to be easy. I got this, no problem. And then 5 laps into it, oh, man, this is harder than I thought it was. And it is. It is harder than you think it would be.
In the words of the great song, What Was I Thinking, right? I mean, no doubt about it, for sure. Big thanks to Blanchard's Towing and Recovery. Thanks to Chris Blanchard. By the way, Blanchard's Towing and Repair is available on Facebook as well as NASCAR Racing and the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. White in the lead, Suss in the middle, McGill on the bottom. Here comes Weatherholt. He's coming off of a win last night as well. He carries the outside momentum with McConey back up on the top as they go up into turn 1, Steven.
There we go with that gyro cram. That's a great spot. Look at the lean of that car.
You got it, Stevie. Yeah, you can see the banking. It's you're almost 90 degrees, aren't you? It's insane. Of course, the drivers, unless you have a motion rig like what Chris Blanchard does, I'd love to see that motion rig swinging him up on an angle like that, guys. Wouldn't that be fun and pain at the same time?
Yeah, when you're looking at it from the driver's point of view, it doesn't look that steep. It looks like a flat track when you come around. But yeah, it really angles up there pretty good.
Wesley, I wonder if Ryan Johnson with the VR does the tilting.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. Watch him as he dives into the corner. Will he tilt? He goes into the corner. Yeah, he stays dead on it. He's got a very different angle of holding the steering wheel too, though, Stephen.
Yeah, he's doing the more traditional 10 and 2 or 9 and 3. I mean, which is typical for NASCAR racing. I think it's for road racing too. It just gives you a better grip on the wheel. Better turning radius.
Thanks again to ServPro Fire, Water, Cleanup, and Restoration. ServPro sponsoring tonight's ServPro 275.
Oh.
And dropping out of line, Austin Evie in the 98 Sun Drop machine. He's coming down pit road, it looks like. Stay green. Well, he didn't come to pit road. He stayed below the double yellow line.
Another thing,
Yeah, I
Wesley and
think
Steve. Go ahead, Steve.
I think he's moving in the back because his hot water temp was getting up there, which happens very easy when you're following somebody like this. As time wears on, that engine gets hotter and hotter, and you need to either drop back to the back or try to take the lead to get that fresh air and cool your water temperature down.
It's a very good observation, no doubt. You were going to say...
Oh, well, that's actually going to throw me a second question to that one. First of all, I was going to go back to these road course drivers that come in and go, it's going to be easy. It's not, because they forget about all this dirty air. They forget about working together, bump drafting, get sucked in like a vacuum cleaner to the fence if you get too close to it. There's a lot of elements at play that these drivers take quite some years, actually, of experience to learn how to do that. And the second question to that is, that's another one, isn't it? Those temperatures, because you don't usually have that problem in road courses because you're shifting up and down, you're braking into corners, so you're slowing the car back down, and then you're doing your acceleration. But here, mate, I didn't realize that, as you mentioned, that's something else that drivers have to be cautious of, doesn't it? Don't they?
Yeah, when these guys are driving, especially on these super speedways, are driving bumper to bumper like that, there's just no air coming into the that second row of cars through their radiators, so they'll get hot. Of course, everybody else behind them too. They get hot really easy the longer you go.
ServPro 275 rolls on. 275 miles, by the way, divided by 2.66, so that it rounds out to about 100 laps. That's the distance. Actually, it would be 103 laps if you really were being serious on the math count, but it is 103 laps, now 100 laps, the distance. There is a chance that over time, as we watch these guys get stacked up tighter than sardines in a pickle jar, down in the corner, 3x3x3. Look at this, white on the bottom. There is Suss. There is Weatherholt up on the top shelf. And we are 4, 5, 6 lanes, 3x3 to the back straightaway. They're going Stephen 3.
And Colin Weatherholt takes the lead momentarily. Justin White coming up hard behind him down there on that bottom lane. He retakes the lead now. And Joshua Suss still leading that second line. Doesn't quite have the push he needs to catch up there with Justin White. But he's giving it a go as we come across the start-finish line here in just a few seconds.
Look at White on the inside, stays in line, doing exactly what he needs to do. And we're still 3 wide, multiple lanes working side by side, as finally White clears them on their way back single file up in the front. Then we're side by side with Suss and McGill. Now we get 3x3 again, and here we go back on the back straightaway. Right back 3x3. Anybody going to be brave enough to go 4 wide? Not just yet as we work lap 36 in stage 2.
I don't think we'll see any 4 wide until that third stage when everybody's vying for that win. But yeah, these guys have really done great this evening. We only had the 1 caution due to 1 wreck. And other than that, everybody's staying in line, doing what they got to do, being safe.
Working across the line. Love that angle from the start-finish line. Weatherholt up in the lead now, up on the outside, but for how long? Here comes Suss in the 80 in the middle. White in the 2 on the bottom, the stage 1 winner. And I'll tell you what, Dean, they just swallow each other right back up now, 3x3 again.
Yeah, you called it. This is actually precision driving at its finest here on the NASRA Racing Network. Brilliant job for everybody. If I was Chris Blanchard, I'd be happy because you won't need to get your towing and recover any of those cars out of here this evening. Chris is probably sitting back watching it. If you are, Chris, give us a shout out because he's not racing. But these gladiators are racing for sure, and we only had just that 1 caution. A little bit of the NASRA chaos, right, Steve? But so far, so good. And we're counting and clicking over to that stage 2, which we will go caution on.
This is about to get interesting now. We got a couple of lap cars just up ahead. Won't be too long. This main pack will catch up to them.
Working down the Alabama Gang super stretch. That's that long back straightaway into turn number 2 to the back stretch, and there it is. It's down to the inside goes the 17. He'll get out of harm's way of the leaders. Let him race on. So will also Peyton Johnson and more as they now get overcome by lap traffic. They do got to go 4 wide for a minute. Hold on. That is some close corner racing off the corner in 3 and 4. Somehow they got it done, Stephen, though, as they work all 4 back to the line.
Yeah, normally a lap car will drop down to the apron, but they won't do it on a turn. When they're in the turns like that, the car just gets too squirrely. And that's another thing that a lot of the European drivers don't understand, too. When you're on these super speedways like this, you really got to maintain your line, is going 3 wide, and that's actually pretty hard to do. It's easy to start wiggling and touching everybody around you, so you really got to pay attention and just keep that wheel straight, stay in your line, and you can do that, you'll be fine.
Wesley, do you reckon that they're going to need some, and also they need some good setups too. You can't just throw yourself into these cars, right, and expect to go quick around there because you've got to fine tweak them, right, Wesley? And what do you reckon you need to tweak them with?
Cars, and you need Premier Racing setups. We'll go side by side to promote them. Thanks as always to Premier Racing Setups. There, of course, with road racing setups or dirt or pavement, late models, modified sprint cars, mini stocks, you name it, from dirt to pavement, short track setups, NASCAR, and even NASRA and more. They've got you covered. Hey, by the way, they also have one-on-one coaching lessons and, of course, iRacing setup requests and passes. Mention iRacing's NASRA brand in your checkout on Premier Racing Setups. Get 15% off, and another 15% goes right back in NASRA's pocket. That's Premier Racing Setups, premier partner of NASRA. Down the front straightaway, it is White, the leader. Behind them, there is a 2x2 log jam of traffic, and it's just continuing to build with 10 to go in stage 2 here, Stephen.
Justin White continues to hold on to that lead. Joshua Suss on his outside in that green and black number 80 car. Right behind Justin is Holden McGill in the 21 in that red and black car, and right up above him is Ryan Johnson. The top 4.
Back straight away. Yeah, look at this. Top 4 now, as you mentioned, side by side, stride for stride. Weatherholt's trying to get something started. Dean up on the outside lane. We saw that 3 wide earlier, but now things kind of shuffle back to 2x2, but for how long?
Well, hopefully for 9 more laps, because we've got a caution coming up there. So who's going to be trying to get that? I'm thinking that third lane has to start soon, doesn't it, gentlemen? Stevie, somebody's got to get out there. Somebody's got to fully send it, because we're crunching those numbers pretty quickly. Stage break points are crucial. And guess what? Like on cue, it's happening.
It is literally cue the band, cue the violin, cue it up here, Stephen. It's going on in Xfinity. What are we going to say?
And I mentioned it earlier, but you've only got 2 cars on that top line like we had. That top line won't move very much. In fact, they'll usually fall back a little bit. You need at least 3 cars, and as you see now, we've got the 3 cars up there in the top line with let's see, who's that? Weatherholt, Greg McConey, and I didn't catch that last car. But anyways, get 3 cars up there, you start moving up. You get a 4th car, you can at least 4 cars, you can definitely move up to that front of the pack easily. All has to do with drafting.
And look at Weatherholt with a big burst of momentum up on the outside. McConey with him as well. Lions up on the top. And those 3 cars, Dean, showing their momentum on the outside lane. And they're literally pressuring everybody in the middle and the bottom.
You do not want to look away. You do not want to look away any of these drivers at the moment. I think Colin Weatherbolt has just been biding his time. He's 16 positions gained here. He's a 2-time winner this season for the Xfinity Series, and he loves the high line. He's getting the pole sitter, Greg McConey, right with him. The Paw Patrol is going to be giving him a bit of a patrol push forward. But Justin White's holding on to the inside apron. He says, it's mine there. And, of course, Joshua Suss for the TLC sprinkler car, which we'll have tomorrow night as well. Well, he's in the hunt, gentlemen. Here we go. It's getting tight.
It's getting spicy, as we say, down the front straightaway. Going back to turn 1, we are now 3 wide by 4. 3 by 4, if you will. And I'm not talking about lumber. I'm talking about these cars on the track here at Talladega going at it down the back straightaway. And it's about to become 4 or 5 rows, 3 wide to the back straightaway, Stephen.
Weatherholt back up there on the top, still leading that top line. Justin White on the bottom, and Joshua Suss in the middle leading these lines. And coming out of going into turn 4 right now, getting ready to come out of it, the cross the start finish line this time. We'll have 1 lap to go to the end of the stage.
Yeah, man, what a fast stage we've seen as these drivers work their way to the line. This is literally closing in on, 6 laps to go now at the line in stage number 2. Now they work their way back to the corner. It is 3 wide into the turn one more time. Weatherholt up the outside, Suss in the middle, White on the bottom. Here comes McGill, Ryan Johnson. Here comes also McConey. Everybody getting stacked up 3 by 3 by 3. You've got 15 cars. You can throw a blanket over for the lead there, Biggles, as they work into turn 3 at full song.
You're going for throwing a blanket over. We're going for a little camping adventure here at Talladega. We will be camping our way to stage 2, gentlemen. Hey, I just want to sit back, relax, and enjoy this one. Wesley, Steve.
It is very tight. It is very exciting watching them work again, 3 by 3. A little wiggle and a jiggle and a giggle and a bobble, Steven, and somehow they hold their line. You talk about precision driving in real life at Daytona, Talladega. These guys have got to do it in the virtual world as well as they go 5 wide up in 5 rows, 3 wide up the bacon into 1 and 2.
I had my information wrong. We're still got about 5 laps to go before the end of the stage. But, speaking of Weatherholt took the checkered flag last night at the Twin Wing Matoji, and he must have caught a missile back home to be here tonight.
He does. He's got a different race car as well. Got some blue and white colors. Very different colors than what we see Holden McGill usually drive at other times. Usually it's orange and black or white or yellow, black and white. Is right now up the outside. Here he comes. 3 by 3 by 3. TLC Incorporated number 80. Suss at the line. No. Weatherholt up top shelf. He'll go to the lead with 3 to go now in stage number 2.
Expecting to maybe see a little bit of Nazareth chaos at the end of the second stage, but I think that'll really happen with about 20 to go at the end of the race here. But Justin White, Colin Weatherholt, Joshua Suss, all battling back and forth for that lead. White on the inside, Suss in the middle, and Weatherholt at the top leading those lines.
3 by 3 by 3. Oh, yeah, by 3 by 3 again. And look at them also starting to run and more into the pack. It's also Rainwater, Lyons, Bruce, Larch. All these guys now starting to lick their chops and get up into the song and dance to the line. 3 to go now in stage number 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic and Weatherholt now. Bigglestein hopped to the gun to lead to the outside, not for long. Suss and White battle right there, stride for stride again off 2.
Yeah, I think White's not going to yield at all to the yellow lines. That's the double yellow lines you're not supposed to overtake if you're driving a car on a motorway. So, and he's going to commit to that one. There's lap traffic getting completely out of the way. Joshua Suss has got a nose ahead in the middle lane there, and Colin Weatherbolt and Holt is holding on to that top line. And see, because he's got to get the exit speed on that top line coming out of the corner, won't he, Steve? But then again, look at this. Justin White's got a little bit of a 3 car lengths or 4 car lengths ahead there. He's getting a nice tow. You'd have to also thank the drivers that are behind him because they're also contributing to this stage win, perhaps.
Yeah,
closing in. 2 to go this time at the line, Stephen.
And being on the inside like that, coming around the corners, of course, that's the shorter way around the track. So, yeah, they get a little bit of a boost being on that bottom when they exit the turns. But the top 2 lines have the speed because they don't have to turn as sharp. So they catch up pretty quick when they get back to the front and back stretches, as we see here now.
Working the back straightaway, Suss and White literally in the middle. There's Suss. There goes, of course, Weatherholt up the top. Look at them staying right there, locked up with one another. Remember, they started to come unglued and crashed in the end of stage 1. Will we see it happen again? How important are the stage points? 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. Here they come to the line through the tri-oval. Down to the line. 1 more lap to go. Final lap in stage 2 underway. They're back in 1.
Things will start getting a little interesting now. Joshua Suss holding the lead in that middle line. Weatherholt on the top trying to take it back, and Justin White on the bottom also trying to take it back. As we are 3 by 3 by 3 by 3, as Wes likes to say.
Down the Alabama gang super stretch. Everybody will still stay stride for stride, 3x3, as we mentioned. Stephen up the banking, up to 33 degrees into turn number 3. It's White below the double yellow line. Just a couple of the left front rear wheels hit that line. He still hugs it on the inside. McGill gives him a push. Suss in the middle. Weatherholt losing ground. Here they come through the tri-oval. Who's it going to be? Can they hold it together? Thundering through turn 4. They will. Checkered flag. The green and white checkered flag, that is, will wave for the end of stage 2. Give it to Justin White. He won stage 1. He'll win stage 2. Presented by the Glass Mechanic. We're also halfway in the ServPro 275. Get ready for a 50-lap shootout coming up.
And Wes, you just mentioned the Alabama gang, and I don't know if people have heard yet or not, but Bobby Allison passed away over the weekend. He was a member of that Alabama gang.
Yeah, and one of the members, actually one of the founders of the Alabama gang out of Hueytown, Alabama, of course, 85 career NASCAR Cup Series win, puts him 4th on the all-time win list. Of course, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, NASCAR announced that one of his Grand American wins at Bowman Gray Stadium was, of course, at one time encumbered. They finally reinstated that victory, and he passed away peacefully. Let me say that. It wasn't a tragic passing. He passed away peacefully at home with his loved ones and his family. Everybody gathered around him. He was at 86 years old, and, of course, the NASCAR community remembers the life and the memory and so many great things that Bobby Allison did in the world of the sport. So, yeah, as we are running Talladega, we remember the life of Bobby Allison. We'll take a break, and Justin White will grab him next.
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Pit stops underway as we see guys coming down the pit lane, and obviously another ServPro caution. Only 2 cautions at Talladega. That's pretty darn good here, Stephen, but I think we're about to see the fireworks begin, no doubt.
Yeah, 2 cautions, 1 for a wreck, 1 for the end of stage 2. It's been a very good, clean race. These guys are playing fair, I guess you could call it. They're being clean about it. And that provides good racing.
Yeah, welcome back to our coverage, obviously, the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Stephen Bartlett, I'm Wesley Outland. Mr. Bigglestein hopped in, chiming in as well on production, doing a fabulous job. And this is the playoffs, of course. This is the next round of the NASRA DSR. My bad. My apologies. This is the NASRA Blanchard Stowe and Xfinity Series is what I was meaning to say. Talladega is where we are for the ServPro 275. And right now, as we continue to watch these guys work their way around the racetrack, I can't tell you, Steven, the exception may be Justin White looking really, really good. Who could win this race tonight?
We've gone through this before. It's Talladega. Anybody can still win it, even the guy back there in 38th spot. 36th spot, I guess. But yeah, Justin White has been up front all night. Joshua Suss has been up there a long time, and so has Holden McGill. So, but again, anybody can win this race.
Wesley,
And speaking of Justin White, he joins us in the broadcast booth again. Justin, the stage 1 winner and stage 2 winner. How different was the second stage compared to the first one?
A little bit less hairy. I just held the bottom. We Highline guys took over all 3 lanes, and we just decided not to pass each other and just decided to push that line and keep in that line and kind of control the race a little bit without causing a huge pile up or wreck behind us with whatever other guys do. So that's what we did.
Is that the preferred line down to the inside? Do you feel like that's where you need to be committed to the bottom of the racetrack, Justin, when the green flag flies? I know you'll be on the outside in row number 3 for the 6th spot, but will you quickly try to get to the inside once you get back to the front?
I think the catbird seat will be the far outside line if you've got 2 good pushers. If you've got a guy that knows how to aerial push, second and third line on that 3rd lane, that first guy is just going to rock it by everybody to the front.
Steven, we got anything for the Deuce and White as we get ready for a restart and go into stage 3?
Justin, how do you like these super speedway races, Talladega, Daytona, etc.?
I'm not a real big fan of them. I've always said it just takes a bunch of there's really not a whole lot of talent here to these things. Every blind squirrel finds a nut here, or the scrubs rise to the top and they win.
I love it. We'll get ready to go, man. Obviously, we'll see if you can try to, pull out the broomstick and sweep the night here at Talladega. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
That's Justin White. Hey, by the way, don't forget again, NASCAR Cup Series. He's the driver, race director, and the promoter, if you will, of the NASCAR Cup Series presented by TLC Incorporated, and again Premier Racing Setups. That'll be again tomorrow night. Make sure you join us, and there's a look at everything that's going on for the week ahead as we get ready for a restart here as the field makes their way back to the Geico restart zone. The green flag will fly with 46 laps to go as the pace car comes down to the pit lane. The field makes a slow snail crawl into the Geico restart zone. McGill and Johnson will fire when they get to the box, to the line. They will. Flagman, Barney, iRacing Flagman unfurls the green silk. It's in the wind. We're underway, and stage 3 is on in the ServPro 275. McGill with the jump on the bottom. Steven, here comes Johnson up top into 1.
Ryan Johnson's got control of that second lane right now with the number 1 of Trevor Williams pushing behind him. And Holden McGill has the 80. No, I'm wrong. I just missed that car number. Yeah, that is the 80 of Justin Suss right behind Ryan Johnson. And here comes that outside line with the 48 of Octavio Rondeletto leading that side.
Octavio Rondeletto, of course, that's the man that we call the showman. The Butcher, Latoro Lamperti right now in 26. Those guys kind of having a quiet night right now, except for the Flaming Karma Racing number 48 now showing his strengths to get into the top 5. He's the man in the middle right now, right behind the 1 of Williams as they work their way again, Dean, up into turn 1.
He got the Nintendo. It's got to get pulled the Nintendo. Oh, look, it even shines there. Look at that as the sun peers over this racing track. Brilliant drive. And as we're running on board with the Argentinian Beefmaster himself. Well, that's not the Butcher, of course. The Butcher is unfortunately running down P26 at the moment. It's his mate. Back to you.
Yeah, Lamperti struggling tonight, man. Obviously, Octavio Rondeletto has showed really, really good races in finishes in the last couple of weeks. As right now, we watch them work their way in that third row in the middle lane off of 4. Here comes McGill down to the inside. Johnson, the man in the middle. Here comes Lyons up on the top shelf where Grandma hides the cookies from Grandpa and the dentures too on occasion. He gets a push with Brett Tucker. This works on as they climb the safer barrier, Steven, into 1.
Yeah, here's something interesting, Wes. 8 Chevys are in the top 10. 1 Ford, 1 Toyota.
Yeah, Wesley, I mean, how do you make a tissue dance? You put a little boogie into it, just as Grandma has the... I love it. I love working with you guys. This is brilliant. Here we go. It's the 50 dash to the cash. Here. this evening, the Xfinity Series.
These guys work their way back into the corner again. Look at now the tiny horse. Here's a man out of Wisconsin, the Cheesehead. Here comes Ryan Johnson back in that black 38 colors again for his machine. The middle lane, down the bottom. There goes Holden McGill. Well, he is a Cheesehead. He's from Wisconsin. The Cheesehead state, right? Get down in the corners, side by side, stride for stride. Hey, and they got good cheese curds in Wisconsin as well. I know, I've been up there at many racetracks calling races, and they really have good food. Working into the corner, Johnson now. McGill, they're door-to-door again. Steven off two for the lead.
These guys will be fighting back and forth for quite a bit now here towards the end of the race coming up. With Holden McGill on that bottom line on the inside, Ryan Johnson on his outside, Joshua Suss behind Holden McGill, Trevor Williams right behind Ryan Johnson, and the 2-car of Justin White, and coming here out of turn 4 heading for the front strip.
What do you say about something from North Carolina then, Wesley, where you are from? What will be famous for your state?
What do you mean?
What's famous for your state then?
For North Carolina?
Yeah.
Barbecue. Barbecue's very famous in the Carolinas.
I thought that was Texas. Yes, Texas is barbecue, mate. Everybody knows Texas is barbecue.
I mean, there's a different type of barbecue in Texas. That's chopped barbecue. We have traditional barbecue.
Okay.
Carolina barbecue. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
What about Holden McGill?
Back straight away. McGill in front.
He's South Carolina. What would he be doing?
I think it would be kind of a chopped barbecue as well. Linkster's Barbecue is a really popular place in Race City, USA, Mooresville. If you ever ate there, it's a cool place to eat at. So, yeah. Nonetheless, McGill on the inside. He's in the lead. Thus right there behind him. How about it, Mr. Bob Carr, Bill Carr? I know he's got to be happy cheering on the TLC Incorporated colors of the number 80, Joshua Suss on the bottom. What a strong run for him, though, as Brighto's getting a little wiggly there. I got to be patient, Steven. It's not the right time with 40 to go make daring moves like that just yet.
Yeah, just, not paying attention will get you that way, too. Just getting out of your line. And once that car starts to wiggle, it takes quite a bit to get it back under control. But Joshua Suss was able to do that and continue on as we see that third line forming back up again up there.
I'm Wesley Outland, Stephen Bartlett, the Viking alongside. You know the holiday season's around the corner. Stephen, do you still have that? Do you still have that beard going on, man? I see it on the camera. So, do you still have that?
The what?
The beard, your beard.
Yeah.
You see it in your camera. You got the beard. Got to get ready for the Christmas season.
Steven's gonna stay down like a pirate. I don't know be getting you if you don't.
But the beard started because our church does a live nativity scene every year. And so that's where the beer started, and I just decided to keep it.
So you're actually in the nativity scene. So you basically keep a beard all year long to be ready for the nativity scene.
I have the last 2 years, but that standing in one spot for a half hour just kills my back. So I'm going to do what we call security. It's just, making sure nobody messes with the actors and that. And, so I can walk around a little bit.
Your security. Hell yeah, we got security, man. These are Nazareth security. Look at this. A lot of these drivers need some security. Cue it up. Emergency. In the bottom of the racetrack, Johnson. Here comes Ron DeLetto, the showman. He wants to lead a Talladega team as they go into turn 1. He'll do it.
Yeah, he can at the moment. He's going to be bringing the Argentina beef to the road course here at Talladega. It's like you've never tasted a cow like when you got the Argentinian showman in town. But just wanted to show you this. It's Movember, so I would like to see Wesley and yourself there, Steve, with a little Movember mustache there, raising charity. And don't forget,
listen, I grew a beard and a mustache last year for No Shave November, and I will not grow one again. It is itchy, it is hairy, it is aggravating. I did not like laying down in bed at night with that beard up against my pillow. I was not a fan of it. I will never do it again. If I start to grow one, I'll shave it off. Yeah, just a little 5 o'clock shadow and maybe a little bit of hair, but I shave it off, though.
And this is another thing. You got breast cancer awareness, which is also a very, very important thing. Of course, if you got ladies out there.
Yes.
I think this is November, and this is also prostate cancer awareness. Now, don't take this,
For men,
gently.
No Shave November.
Yeah.
Yes, No Shave November.
Remember that it's actually a more leading cause of problems for men than even breast cancer. So let's not, and men are more likely not to talk about it to anybody else as well, too, or even not to get a checkup. Like women get checkup quite regularly, which is great. And we need to raise that awareness as well, too, for men. That, go get a checkup, especially when you're over 30s and approaching 40s and so forth. Don't mess around with it, because as quickly as you can diagnose it, is as quickly as you can hopefully get it resolved. But if you just sit there and let it linger, you may very well be in more of a problem, and we don't want we want everybody to be health aware.
Yeah, you're talking about prostate cancer, right?
Yes, sir. Prostate cancer.
Yeah, for sure.
It kills more men than breast cancer kills women, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Year by year.
Yeah,
so
I think what is it, Steve, in your 40s, once you hit your upper 40s, you should go get it checked, basically, I think, 40, 45, something like that.
Yeah, they usually check it every year, and a lot of blood work goes into that, too. Has to do with your, I can't think of the word right now.
Yeah, Wesley, when's the last time you got checked? You got to get checked, mate. Even if it matter, just get checked.
I mean, I've had routine physicals and stuff, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't really thought about getting a colonoscopy or a prostate cancer check either. I think they say you got to wait till you're about 45 or so. 45, 50 is what I
40,
do.
late 30s,
that's what our
early
doctors
40s.
say. So.
Yeah. All right, well, trust in your doctor. But get a check if you can. Of course, on a lot of drivers here, we'll probably be approaching.
I might need to fire my doctor. What do you think? I might need to fire you. Damn, you give me a physical. You're not checking everything. You need to check other things.
Shout out in the chat there at the moment if you are, obviously approaching the mid-teen ages these days because people live to about 100. So you're about halfway through your race of life. Put it that way. So get a checkup, right? That can't hurt, can it?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, man. As we get back to the action of the racetrack, and there you see the Salem, Wisconsin driver Ryan Johnson up in front, the tiny horse as we call him. He leads the way. Rondeletto, though, battles back on the outside lane. Steven, here's a guy of Octavio Rondeletto, the showman from Flamin' Karma Racing, who literally hung back. I watched him literally hung back all night long until the drop of the green here in this third stage. And now with about less than, 36, 37 to go, 35 to go, actually, he has worked his way up to the number 2 spot. And by the way, helps coming, the Butcher, Lamperti, is also on the move on the outside lane in 8th.
Yeah, I've been watching Rondeletto move up, and that's one of the strategies that you can do here at Talladega is hang back in the back, kind of mind your own business, stay out of trouble, and then in that third stage start working your way back up to the front, and you can usually have a pretty easy time at holding the lead, as we have seen tonight.
Let's give you your top 10 as it stands right now as we are approaching lap number 66 completed. Ryan Johnson, Holden McGill, they're 1 and 2. Octavio Rondeletto is 3rd. Rhett Tucker 4th, and got a couple of guys shuffling in the back, it looks like, and we might have just lost, it got a little loose there for a minute. Is that Joshua Suss? Big push out of the bottom of the lane. That's, of course, Holden McGill 3rd. Rhett Tucker up 29 spots to 4th. Lamperti is 5th, and it's Suss, Lyons, Williams, Joplin, Hubbard. Your top 10 as they come storming through the tribal. 3, 4, 5 wide. Are you serious? They're going to do it at Talladega, at least in one row.
No.
Steadily getting that,
gentlemen,
that 4 wide.
You called it there at the top of the top of the hour, didn't we? There, Steve. I was like, Steve, can they go 5 wide already? No problems, right? Steve's like, maybe.
Not advisable, but yeah, they can go 5 wide.
And they were just 4 wide. They were just 4 wide a minute ago, going down into the corner. Boy, oh boy! Wow.
You got to see those dotted lines there. Keep to your lane. It's just like when you're driving on a freeway, right, or on a highway, and you just stick to the lines there. Just don't cross the double lines there. No overtaking on the inside line there, gentlemen. But you can't go 5. Come on, bring the action, bring the adventure. We have 33 laps to go.
You might not think we can go 5. We just went 5. It was in one lane, but we went 5 wide. I just saw it. Yeah.
Ryan didn't see it. He's got his VR
Dunn,
on. He's
and
looking
I
forward.
would've even
Not
said a moment
backwards,
ago.
Wes. He's
And
like,
there is
"Whoa."
a part of that front stretch they can go 5 wide. It's wide enough to do it comfortably.
Oh, yeah.
But the rest of the track, it goes to 4 lanes there in the front, 4 dotted line lanes. And here in the back stretch, you could probably get away with it, but not in the turns. I wouldn't go 5 wide in the turns. That's pressing your luck.
You might go 5 wide in that spot of the straightaway there, Stephen. But by the time you get past the start-finish line, you better be getting on the binders to get back into turn 1.
Oh,
Green flag pit stops. Green flag pit stop.
I was going to say, Wesley
guys.
and Steve, how does Penguins build their houses? I thought these drivers were Penguins. It glues it together, and they're gluing themselves together down the pit road.
Yeah, they glue something, right? Was it here they come down pit road?
It glues.
Dean with the dad jokes.
And you got to make sure that you don't get busted for speeding on pit road, right? I mean, this would be detrimentally costly, Stephen, if you literally come down pit road under green and then you get busted with a speeding penalty. You got to come back down for a stop and go or a wave around, if you will. Not a wave around, but just basically pass through penalty. That would really take your chance out of this race. As here comes down McGill. Who else is going to peel down the pit road? Holden McGill
by himself. Oh no, they're coming! They're coming like a pat. It's like
coming.
Yeah, Wesley, it's like looking at a Hollywood movie when it's like somebody comes across the field and is like, "Where's the rest of my field to battle with?" And then they come storming over the hill. We're here to support you, Holden.
Yeah, we got you, my friend. We'll fight him in the plains. Yeah. We'll fight him in the corners. We'll fight him on pit road. Jacob Reeves.
These super speedways, you do not want to pit by yourself because there's no way you'll be able to get caught back up.
One thing I guarantee you too, gentlemen, that the Argentinians will box together, and they will certainly do that. But Lucas Lyons is just in there. Richie Joplin, new names here we haven't heard of, and Peyton Hubbard. That's the top 5.
Jacob Reeves is in the house as well. Redneck announcer, I thought you were going to be missing in action.
I thought I was too. Got lucky though. Thought we was leaving tonight or today, and turns out we're leaving tomorrow, so got lucky and was very happy to be here at Talladega, baby.
Jacob, Matt Cherry goes spinning in the pit road.
Crashing on pit road. Matt Cherry, Rainwater, Tristan Bruce, Bo Tiffany, they're all fighting for pit stops like fighting for the last croissant at the Thanksgiving dinner table in a few weeks.
What's
Here
that
they
done?
come.
Matt, that's
on
not the way to
pit
go.
road. Matt Cherry's blocks again. Wow, Steven, you can't do that.
You can do it. It's not advisable, but yeah, you can do it.
Jacob Reeves, let's check in on you. What you're taking Talladega right now, buddy? Just kind of comfortably on the racetrack in the top 20, I think.
Yeah, right now just biding our time. Obviously, just kind of waiting on the big one. We've already had a couple big ones already as it is, but one really, but we got a feeling there's going to be another one. We pitted a little bit early right here, try to leapfrog some of these guys and see if his strategy works out for us. Try to get up here with Holden and see what we can do.
Jacob, you're screaming, Nick's Toyota's getting out of your way. Get out of the way! Jacob's in town.
Yeah, what's the lyrics to the song by, something's got to go wrong because I'm feeling too damn good, right, Jacob? That's the lyrics to the song, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how it goes. I'm not real sure. I'm just trying not to wreck right now. I'm just trying to get Holden up here, or Darren up here to hold and try to get this line going. We might get lucky. This might be I don't know how it's going to work out, but this may end up being a battle for the win right here. I'm not 100% though.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. No doubt about it, is right now these guys are working their way around the racetrack, and it has been a good by the way, that's the lyrics to the Nickelback song, Jacob, is what I was saying. Something's got to get wrong because I'm feeling too damn good. There you go. And I got a feeling a storm could be brewing at any moment. So, Jacob, put on them big boy britches, tighten up them seatbelts, and hey, I used your line on Race in America Saturday night. We got beef!
Yeah, hopefully we won't have no beef with anybody right here. Like we're going to try to take a shot.
Jacob, I was going to ask, what happens when two vegans get together and they have a problem? Can you still call it beef?
Somebody hit his
you can always call it a little bit of beef.
Two vegans going, what? They can't have beef. So what is it then? Anyway, Jacob.
Thank you,
sir,
Jacob.
appreciate
Good
you.
luck, buddy. See you, my friend. Yes, sir, definitely. Oh my goodness!
I only did that
It's
because we did dad jokes the whole 23-hour event. Remember, for raising
not
charity.
as bad as 2 trailer park girls go around the outside when I say that, right? I mean, come on. Oh, geez. Thank you. We're here all night. 25 to go. Oh, Steven, I got a feeling it's about to get good in the neighborhood, and I don't mean it's your local Applebee's either. I'm talking about Nazareth Chaos is upon the horizon.
Yes, it should be here any time now. We got 26 laps to go. So these guys are really going to start getting aggressive now. And as we like to say, it's Nazareth Chaos time.
Boy, oh boy, my goodness. See him ship up or ship out as it's coming out of the end of it here. Now Lions in the pit lane. I think everybody, is pitted. So I think they're good to go, Dean, for the finish of this race. By the way, they only pitted twice. Well, actually, you know what? I got to wonder here. Lap 52 was the last time Lucas Lyons, Rondeletto, Joplin, Cofield, Lamperti, Hubbard, Poole, Nelson pitted. So right now, the top 8 have not come down pit road. At any moment, I think they're going to have to, especially with 25 to go. They can't go to the finish of the race. They can't go the distance.
That's one for Steve, actually, to be paying attention more on those laps. But exactly. It reminded me, at the moment there, Wesley and Steve, that we can have ourselves a little Steve's Nazareth Chaos graphic that comes up there when he's going to be predicting when the chaos will be happening. But going back to that question, of course, there it is. So, Z drivers, the last time they went down a pit road, my friend, lap 52. We are on lap 25 to go. So we are well.
Lap 75.
Yep, lap 75.
Yeah,
so.
well, what is that guy's name? Bruce Buffer, the announcer, the ring announcer for UFC. Steven, you can do, it is time! And then Nazareth Chaos flashes across the screen.
Don't forget the big fight coming up this weekend, too, on Netflix, isn't it? You're pulling old Mike out of retirement. So, yeah, we'll be getting ready to rumble.
Who was it? Jake Paul and Mike Tyson going to beat the hell out of one another. That was a match that was supposed to have been in the spring, and then somebody chickened out. I don't know who it was, but they rescheduled it, and then they said, "Oh, I need more time to train. I need to be Rocky. I need to have more time to train." You know, get in there, Adrian, I'm gonna beat him. You know. So anyhow, they rescheduled it for this Saturday night. So I can promise you, I'm going to be working for NASCAR, doing the Battle of the Stars at New River All-American Speedway. But I promise you, I'm going to have my Netflix account on, watching what goes on between these guys, you know?
My brother wants me to subscribe to that Netflix. He's like, you got to pay for this. We got to sit back and watch it. I'm like, all right. I say, El Tyson's coming out, mate. It'll be like one punch, one knockout in predictions, of course. So you can put in predictions in the chat for that event as well. And
you know what sucks about boxing?
Yes.
As we come to 23 to go, Stephen and Jacob, I'll get your thoughts on this, Stephen and Dean. What sucks about boxing is, you hype up the fight, right? I mean, you can hype it up, and there's going to be a great fight. It's 15 rounds, and da-da-da-da-da. One round, Steve, one knockout, and the whole damn thing is over. And you spent all that money, and I've done it myself, on these UFC fights, these boxing matches, whatever, and it's literally 1-2 rounds, bam, it's over.
Yeah, I'm not a big boxing fan. I just don't see the point of watching two guys beat the crap out of each other. MMA, too.
It's entertainment.
I just don't care for them. But yeah, kiddos, if you like to watch it, go for it.
I don't watch
the
boxing.
The man that is nicknamed the Viking, by the way, pardon the pun.
Yeah, that's only because nobody ever wants to box that man. Right there, because he's got a knockout just by looking at you.
He's my Nazareth bodyguard. He's the nativity bodyguard for everybody at church. He's my Nazareth bodyguard. All right. Anybody picks on Wesley, take it up with Steven. Nonetheless, 21 to go when they come to the line. Look at this. Lions up in front. Remember, if you're watching now, the 8 cars in the pack have not pitted. The last time they pitted was about 52, 53 laps in. They cannot, and I repeat, cannot go to the finish. I think they're praying for a caution here, Steven.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason why they're still out there, but eventually they're going to be running on fumes and have to go in. There's not going to be a choice about it. They're going to have to pit stop before the end of the race, and it's just hurting themselves, I think, staying out there this long.
Look at the lap times, gentlemen. You talked about Reeves and all that sort of stuff, saying we're confident winning this one. They're in the 50 club. These guys at the moment are almost in the 52 club. You can see on the timing tower, they're 51 earlies. but they're dropping like 9:29 stop. They're going pit
Here they
road.
come.
They knew they had to come down pit road, and here they come on the pit lane, almost 3 wide. Ron DeLetto and Lamperti, teammates, almost get into one another. Here comes the other guys trying to give plenty of room. Somebody's going to find it. Oh! I knew it was going to happen. The 89. That's Richie Joplin turned to Lamperti. They were fighting to get to their pit box, and I think they got blocked in. Wow.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
How's that going to help the rest of the field here? Trevor Williams coming around right now, leading the second pack here of racing. And they are going for it too for now. So look at that track map as well too. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way.
Yes.
This is for the lead up in front. When they come to the line, there you see it. This is the leaders now. The 14. We watch these guys working their way into the corner now. This is up in the top spot as we continue to watch all of this racing take place.
Oh, there's traffic coming out of pit road too, gentlemen. Look at this.
Yes, sir. Man. Steven, how badly damaged is Lamperti's car? Can it be really badly damaged by getting wrecked on pit road? Can you get damage on pit road?
Oh, yeah, you can get damage on pit road. In fact, it's kind of unusual to actually have an accident because usually you can drive through other cars once you're on pit road. But,
where do you go?
I'm sorry?
Go ahead, Steve. Sorry. I was going to say they're approaching these cars thick and fast at the moment. Where do you go here at the moment? Where does Trevor go? This car, the pack.
Safe spot is to take that outside. That's the only lane that's really open to get past these guys.
And I'm going to tell you guys something. Believe it or not, Ron DeLetto, Hubbard, Lamperti, Nelson, Williams were so far ahead of everyone else that they literally went down pit road, had that pit road chaos, and still came down off of pit road up in the lead as these guys
But Trevor Williams has the momentum coming out of pit. They had the speed. Yes. Stevie.
Trevor Williams up in front, got 4 new freshies and Sunoco fuel. He is up in the top spot as we are again under 20 laps to go. This is the Premier Racing Setups 20 to go. We'll go side by side to thank our partner. Mention NASRA and you get 15% off your order at checkout, and 15% goes back into the pocket of NASRA. And right now, look who's up in front. Darren Bruce, I know Miss Sharon Bruce has got to be cheering on the 14 back to the front. For how long, though? That's the question, Steven, is now we go 3 wide again. And here's that pack right here up ahead. If we don't get a late race caution, these guys that are thundering in turn 3, that is the big wad of traffic. This is going to be the deciding factor. Someone in this pack is going to win this race here at Talladega.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual. Just a few laps to go. We haven't seen very much aggressiveness come out of these guys. I'm thinking maybe they're going to wait until around lap 10 before they really start pushing it.
Sharon Bruce said Friday night is fight night. It's about to be a fight night here on a Tuesday here at Talladega. Talladega Tuesday. Right now, it is Hubbard up in the lead. Ron DeLetto up on the outside. There you see the cars. And right now, there's McGill. There's Williams. Door to door. Here comes Bruce on the outside. He gets a punt in the pants and a big shove by, I believe it was Johnson. Johnson's got the 54 also in his toe. Or the 57, actually. Look at this. Here comes Jacob Reeves now, Dean, on the up top side.
Oh, everybody. Jacob was confident about that one. He is making his way up 20 places. He's using the outside line. Darren Bruce, Peyton, and Adam Newton. Another one name that we haven't mentioned at the moment. He's up 24 places, but they're all going for it because they realize 16 to go, boys and girls. This is where it comes to crunch time. Let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah, I got a feeling they're going to rumble, no doubt about it. Is right now they work their way again off of that second turn down the Alabama gang. Super stretching right now. They're stride for stride, 3 by 3 by 3. Here comes the middle lane now. Williams goes right up the middle, shot like a rocket out of a cannon. Into the corner in turn number 3. Bruce up the racetrack. Reeves on the bottom. Here comes now also. Help on the bottom with Peyton Hubbard looking for the lead in 3.
And Jacob Reeves did say when he was up here in the booth that he was going to get up there on that top line, work his way to the front, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's moved up in the 10th spot. Darren Bruce still holding the lead on that top line. Trevor Williams, Peyton Hubbard, Adam Newton, Octavio Rondeletto, top 5 right now as they work their way into turn 1.
Tristan Bruce is Sharon's Bruce. My apologies. Okay, they are not related. My bad. As they go down on the back straightaway. Don't want to get Tristan or the Bruce people in trouble with one another. Down the back straightaway, Tristan or Darren is right now. They go to the back stretch and look at Darren Bruce back up in front. And don't worry, Sharon. Tristan Bruce is right there behind the 19. One wrong wiggle, jiggle, giggle, bobble by Newton, and here comes Tristan, ready to power up on the top side. Williams with a shove by Rondeletto. Hubbard's on the inside. He's left Mother Hubbard in the cupboard. Down into turn number 4. We're 3-1 again as they come storming through the tri-oval. 14 to go here in Talladega. It's go time as they work to the line.
Trevor Williams in that number 1 car holding the lead right now in that middle lane with the 14 of Darren Bruce on the top and the 51 of Peyton Hubbard on the bottom right now. He temporarily takes the lead and Trevor Williams takes it back at the moment.
Working down the back straightaway, Williams now right in the middle lane. He's the monkey in the middle. As they got clowns to the left to be junkers to the right, shoved to the bottom lane. Look at that shot on the bottom, losing ground. Here he comes. Lamperti gets some move. Now the 91 gets some help. Rondeletto knows it. He's on his inside. On the outside is now Darren Bruce. Tristan Bruce up on the top. He now goes to the middle. Oh, they're stacking them up 3 by 3 by 3 as we come to the line. 13 to go at Talladega. It's getting good in the neighborhood.
Oh, you're a poet. You didn't even know it there, Wesley. He's got all the rhymes here this evening.
And somehow Williams powers back on the bottom. Here comes the black Uno machine. He wants to be P1 here in spot 1 in the 1 car. Not for long. Hubbard now back up the middle lane. He gets a shove from Rondeletto. There's McGill. There's Tristan Bruce. There's also the other lane with Darren Bruce and Newton and Reeves. It's like lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Who's going to fight with the Cubbies here at the finish? Hubbard leads them again off turn 4, Stephen, with 12 to go.
Hubbard way out front compared to that second and third line, but those guys are going to catch up here really quick, it looks like, as they getting ready to come across the start-finish line. Peyton Hubbard, Octavio Rondeletto.
And remember, Dean, one wrong slip, if somebody just makes one mental error, and yes, even though we're not running Daytona Talladega for real, it's a virtual simulator, but if you make one wrong error, you literally start to sweat a little bit, and you go to the top of your brow to try to clear off that sweat, or if you try to adjust your steering wheel, or if your arm aches just a little bit, or if you let off the throttle on the gas on that Race and I Rig simulator, you can cause a crash, and these guys know it as they thunder their way, closing in on 10 to go off 4.
Wesley, you'll cause Stevie to get the old Nazareth Chaos card out and play that one with 12 to go. You don't want that specifically, but I tell you what, Trevor Williams, 31 positions, just taking the lead of this race. The number 1 machine says, I'm a number 1, and he's got that finger pointing right now as he takes his hand off the steering wheel and says he's in P1, and he is currently holding tight. 11 to go.
And look at the Argentinians now up the middle lane. Stephen Bartlett, there goes Lamperti. There goes Rondeletto. They've now hooked up. They're going to take it to the Americans as they're right up the middle as they go to the back straightaway, going to 3 with 10 to go this time by.
And we've already started to see the chaos starting. These guys wiggling in and out, changing lanes, trying to work their way up to the front. Just as we saw Lamperti, he did the same thing, just weaved his way through up there in that middle lane, leading that pack right there.
Here they come to the line. Off turn 4, through the tribal, back to the line. It's going to be Williams on the inside. Lamperti up the middle as they flash to the stripe. There's Lamperti now. He's the new leader as they thunder their way back into the corner. He's the leader now with 10 to go. But Williams will battle back on the bottom with Hubbard helping on the inside off 2.
The two Argentinians look like they're working together, blocking that bottom and middle lane. As we see Lamperti down on the bottom right now, or excuse me, Trevor Williams on the bottom right now. Had my eye on the wrong driver. 91 of Lamperti in that second lane and the 48 of Rondeletto right behind him.
And
giving
look
him a
at them
push.
bouncing off one another. You've got a side draft, inside, outside, bottom, left, rear, right, rear. They're bumping, they're banging, they're trying to hold it together, Dino, as they come to the line. It's single digits now, 9 to go. Lamperti leads them back into turn 1, but for how long?
Well, we have a new race leader for the season at the moment. We've got new names up here that have not won it. We've got other drivers at the moment. Holden McGill's back in P8. We got all the way down the field there. We have, I don't even see currently at the moment where some of the other drivers are. This could be a new race winner for the season here for the Xfinity Racing Series. And I'll tell you what, Chris Blanchard at the moment should be absolutely stoked because this race is going brilliantly. ServPro 275, 9 to go.
And they come off of turn number 4 now, entering the tri-oval here at the 2.66 mile Talladega Superspeedway on iRacing. They thunder down through the tri-oval, funneling now down to the line. It is 8 laps to go, less than 17, 18 miles to decide the winner. The ServPro 275, new leader. Hubbard clears the 1 in turn 1. That's Peyton Hubbard there, Stephen, taking the 51 to the lead. That's a name that we've never heard of before in the NASCAR world. He's up in the top spot. Lamperti battles back on the outside. Rondeletto, the Argentinian's taking it to the Americans into turn 3.
Top 4 cars now we've never seen up here in the front.
Whoa!
Oh, and the 14 gives a little door bang down there to Rondeletto. Able to recover it. Good to go.
A little shove, and they hold it together. Here they come through the tri-oval again. The laps dwindling to the home stretch. 7 now remaining. Lamperti in the middle lane. Got his help from the butcher. There's the showman, Rondeletto, giving him a shove. It's Holden McGill, by the way, back up the middle. Here comes the 21. Bruce on the outside, and it's still Hubbard hugging the bottom. Dean off too.
Oh, it's getting absolutely exciting. Payne's got a hold on at the moment. Trevor Williams. And they can slice and dice their way through here. The big one is probably looming in the background, as Steve has alluded to, with 7 to go, because now it's going to be starting to get your positions. If you're back 3 or 4 rows there, you've got your tickets a little bit late to this party. Well, my friend, you got to talk to your scalper about that one because you want to be at the top row at the front seats. It's courtside if you're talking about basketball at the moment there.
6 laps to go through the tri-oval, back to the start-finish line. And by the way, we've seen many races in the world of a NASCAR, Stephen, or even in real life for that matter, where you might be up in the lead in the 4th turn. But remember, that start-finish line is all the way at the end of the pit road. Going into turn 1, you got to get through that tri-oval. That's 4,000 feet. We've seen a lot of changes and wins decided because of that as they work into 3.
Yeah, it's most tracks have that start-finish line right in the center of the front stretch. But yeah, like you mentioned, this one's about 500 feet farther down. And Jacob Reeves now is the 3rd car in that top line as he tries to work his way up.
There you see a shot of him thundering through the tri-oval. Usually the start-finish line is right there. Not here. It's about another, again, as I mentioned, couple of 1,000 yards to the start-finish line, and there they go, working their way back to the line again. 5 laps to go. Lamperti in the lead. Rondeletto in the middle. He's trying to help out the 91, trying to give him his first win ever in NASCAR. He's on the back straightaway, Dean, and he's pulling away, but not by far.
Yeah, he's got his teammate a little bit further back there, but where can he go? He's in the middle lane. Darren Bruce is there. Peyton Hubbard is there, and Octavio wants to give him a little bit of a show, man. It's coming down to the show. Those curtains are pulling across. There's no dress rehearsals anymore. The lights are gleaming and shining at the moment on the Argentinians. What can they do?
Everybody up in this pack. Literally anybody can win this race, from the leader, Hubbard, all the way to Bo Tiffany in the back. There you go. Those are your drivers. And if you're doing the math right now, as they work their way back into the corner again, that is 18 cars. 18 have a shot to win right now here at Talladega. 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. 3 times 5 is 15. The other 4 cars are do-si-doing on the back straightaway, and they're going to 3 to go as they work to 3 here off 3, Stephen.
with the 51 of Ryan Hubbard at the bottom and the 91 Lamperti in that middle lane, trading leads back and forth. And with that 14 of Darren Bruce, this is going to be a really close finish if these guys stay 3 wide like this at the checker flag.
Somehow holding it together side by side, working through the trioval, thundering back to the line. Here it is now, 3 laps to go. Less than 7 or 8 miles remain to decide the winner here in the ServPro 275. Now they start to break out of line. Teammates are now going to become enemies. Friends become foes. It's Hubbard to the lead. Now Lamperti's got to deal with Rondeletto on his back door. Williams has got company with Johnson, and they're all going to shuffle Dean like that into 3.
They're going to shuffle their way, hopefully 3 to go into the shuffling positions that they want. 11 positions gained there. Darren Bruce is holding on tight here. Trevor Williams, the Argentinian drivers, have to do something right now. 3 to go. They've got to work together, but unfortunately there's no space to get overtakes. No 4-line racing here, gentlemen. This is it. Trevor Williams, he's got to hold on right now, but he's got Peyton Hubbard to his right and to his left, and they got drivers everywhere at the moment there, guys.
And
that was almost a mess.
Seemed like they just about scattered, literally coming off of that 4th turn like a litter of cockroaches when the light cut on in the middle of the night when you went to go to the hub. And there we go. Trouble. Bruce is around. They're wrecking. They're crashing. Trouble in turn 1 and 2. It's the big one.
Stevie?
Literally imploded on the front row on back, and the caution is out. Hubbard got away from it, so did Lamperti. Rondeletto, teammate to Lamperti, hung out to dry, and he got crashed, Dean.
Yep, you got to see this one right now, Stevie. This is the big one. You wanted it, kind of wanted it, Stevie, but there it is, my friend. It happened right there behind those 3 cars.
You knew it was bound to happen, honestly. We thought it was going to be a wreck, Steven, going into turn 3. Somehow they saved it, but I just think there was too much side draft and bump draft. And then literally when that tandem got together again, one wrong slip, and you've got the word crash into.
Yeah, the 33 of Ron Johnson, or Jeffrey Johnson, excuse me. I don't know what happened, but he came up into those other cars, and that's what caused this one. And no, Dean, we don't want to see this, but we know it's going to happen. I mean, it's unavoidable in these super speedways. We're going to get the big one, and we've had 2 of them now tonight.
Yeah, sorry
Johnson
about that one.
in the 33 got to the left rear.
It's just coin. Go ahead, Wes.
Yeah, look at it again. Watch the replay, another Pulse Popper replay. Watch the 48 in the middle. Here's Johnson. Johnson hit the left rear of Rondeletto. Normally, you don't hit somebody in the middle of the corner. And when you do, this is the outcome, Steven. And this is what caused Johnson, Bruce, Tristan, and Darren Bruce, might I add, Rondeletto, Holden McGill, and a whole host of other cars. Listen to the list. These are your drivers involved in the big one just a moment ago. Rhett Tucker, Mark Nelson, Jonathan Cofield, Holden McGill, Darren Bruce, Tristan Bruce, Jeffrey Johnson, and Octavio Rondeletto, and also Mark Nelson. Those are your cars involved. Almost 10 cars or more in a wreck with 3 to go. Is anybody coming to pit road, Stephen, with 3 to go now? If you're the leaders, do you stay up in front?
I think if you're the leaders, you stay up in front. Everybody involved in that wreck, they're going to come down and get some new tires and top off maybe, but they'll at least get some new tires. And look at Jacob Reeves. He was 11th when that wreck started. He is now in 6th, working his way up to the top. And
what a way to get back to the field.
In fact, I was watching that last rewind that Dean did of that wreck, and Jacob Reeves, he got lucky. He was able to get between 2 cars like threading the needle and keep it straight.
Let's check in with Octavio Rondeletto from Flaming Karma Racing as we show another Pulse Popper instant replay. Man, Rondeletto, what's your take of what happened there, man? Obviously, it was just getting aggressive at the end, wasn't it?
Oh, man, I was trying my line. It's unfortunate because I think we had the best line for the finish. I had my teammate in front. That was a great scenario. This is complicating all of us because my teammate is alone right now. I'm trying to fix my damage. I have more than 4 minutes. I have the back of the car in the front.
Yeah, man, if you look at the replay, I don't know if you can or not, Octavio, but you can literally tell that you were on the middle lane. You were giving a push to your teammate of Lamperti. Lamperti went off on his own and kind of pulled away from you a little bit, and then that's when Johnson hit the left rear of your car. And I don't want to say that it was intentional. It was just literally the outcome of coming to the end of this race, and somebody made an error, and that's what caused you getting caught up in it.
Yeah, for sure. It's unfortunate, just an error. It was a little bit of netcode too, and it's what it is. It's Superspeedway. It's Talladega. We have to have fun here and see what happened in the end. Just that.
That's a nice way of saying it. Thanks for your time. We'll take a break. He's on the damaged vehicle clock to try to get fixed, and we're going to overtime around the corner at Talladega. Stay with us. It's next.
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We've only had 3 ServPro cautions in the ServPro 275, but it came down at the end. We have passed the scheduled distance. We're getting ready for the first of 3 attempts at overtime here for the Nazareth Blanchard Towing Xfinity Series at Talladega. I'm Wesley Outland, Stephen Bartlett alongside Bigglestein Hopton on production and color commentary. And let's grab the Maxima Racing Oils number 51 Chevrolet of Mr. Peyton Hubbard. Peyton, you could win Talladega. What's your take of this race, man? The Moxville, North Carolina driver looks good. You've stayed out of trouble. What's it going to take to be here at the end to lock yourself into the playoffs?
Hopefully we can just stay green at the end of this, because I know everybody's cutting it close on fuel. So that's, leading this is not going to be very easy, but that's what we're looking at right now. Hopefully I got some help, and hopefully we can stay green.
All right, that's the Warrior Racing Esports driver, and he's got to get right back to the whip and get back to green flag, because they are coming to the Geico restart zone, ready to go now for the overtime number 1 as the field comes back through the tri-oval. You just heard from him. Hubbard, Lamperti, ready to come to green as we go back to it again here at Talladega to decide the winner of the ServPro 275 and more.
Hubbard jumps out to a big lead, but of course that won't last long with that draft right behind him. Trevor Williams behind him, and up on there on that top line, that middle line, is Lamperti, one of the 2 Argentinians that...
I don't know, Steven, if it was a good idea to do what he just did. As you saw
the reckon again.
Crashing, holy hell! Big trouble back straightaway. Adam Newton. There's Colin Weatherholt. There's a whole bunch of good drivers involved. Dean Doucette's caught up in it. Justin White, I think, got a piece of it. So did Greg McConey. Another big one in the back straightaway, and we are going to double overtime. Wow.
Watch the instant replay here. The 1 jumps up in front of the 91.
Is that Jacob Reeves? That's Jacob Reeves, guys. Jacob Reeves into Adam Newton. And we know they've got history with one another. Look at the other drivers involved. Dean Doucette, Austin Evie. There you see the 11 caught up in it. So is Justin White. Oh, man. Joshua Suss spinning down at the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, Reeves. Jacob Reeves bounced off the wall a little bit and came down into the 19 of Adam Newton, and I think that started the whole thing.
Let's watch it again, and then all of a sudden, nowhere to go. Is that the 11 up the middle? Was that car? I think it's the 11. Yes, it is. Watch the 11, the black and white with the Carolina blue 11 on the roof. Because after Reeves got into the safer barrier, he got into Newton, and then the 11 of Michael Larch went right bonsai through the middle. Look at this. And then that's what caused Dean Doucette, Justin White, Bo Tiffany, whole host of other cars involved. And my goodness, Stephen, how lucky was Ryan Johnson? Man, the black 38 car could have just got collected. Watch again. Watch the 11, Stephen. Just almost took out the 38. Right about now. Watch this. Look at the 38. Instead, Dean Doucette got the short end of the stick. Wow. And we go to double overtime, by the way.
And that was just pure luck for the 38 to get through there. Just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
On board with Adam Newton. We'll see it again in real time. The 19. Take a listen. I mean, where do you go, right, Stephen? You've been in this before. On board with Gerald Poole. Listen.
Yeah, Jared Poole was doing a good job at avoiding him, and then the other car came down in front of him trying to avoid another car. It happens, especially when you're doing almost 200 miles an hour down the backstretch.
If it's kind of pushed him down, right? I mean, nowhere to go, pushed him down. He had nowhere to go from that exchange, so that's what happened to him. Wow. Here's another look at it again. By the way, replays presented by Pulse Poppers. And you got to think, Dean, these guys are coming back down pit road. You heard what Austin Hubbard said. He said, or Peyton Hubbard, my apologies, Peyton Hubbard. You heard what Peyton Hubbard said? He said, we can't go the distance. We're going to probably have to come down pit road for fuel.
I think they got saved. No choice. Yeah, they got saved exactly by that situation, didn't they? So they were preying on the Steve Bartlett Nazareth chaos to occur, and it occurred. So it's inevitable, isn't it, when you get 35 gladiators in an arena all at once, battling it out for crucial stage points and, of course, crucial race wins. At some point, something's going to break and fold, and it did. And it caused a bunch of drivers at the moment, including the likes of Greg McConey, who was our pole sitter, down at pit road. It'll get Adam Newton down a pit road. He's just coming out of pit road at the moment there. My apologies. Michael Larch there. Gerald Pooley. Mark Nelson. Octavia, we just heard from. The showman himself. He's going down to get some damage fixed. Justin White. Tristan Bruce. Bruce supporters out there are going to be gutted on that one. Joshua Suh. Dean Doucette's been down the pit road for some time. Not sure if he's still piloting that vehicle. Matt Cherry's coming in for some repairs. So, go back to the top of the timesheets. It's this man, Peyton Hubbard. They could take our third driver of the season, fourth driver of the season, my apologies. As you can see the schedule.
I want to remind you of, there it is. Look at that. And if you're a guy like Ryan Johnson, Colin Weatherholt, or Holden McGill, Stephen, as a driver, I'll bring you in as an analyst. Those guys are like, hey, man, I had a bad night, had a bad day, whatever. But I know I've got a mulligan because I'm literally in the playoffs. For a lot of these guys like Johnson and Weatherholt with 2 wins, they know they're going to the postseason regardless of what happened tonight.
Right, yeah. Now they're just racing for points, trying to get that regular season championship done. And, I kind of expected this last caution because you get a restart, everybody's bunched up together, and it could very easily happen again when we restart this time also.
Want to remind you to join us every week on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Big reminder, by the way, next Monday night, the Nazareth DSR Electric Truck Series will be off for Thanksgiving. We'll be off. Our next race for the trucks will not be until 2 weeks, and I believe that'll be at Talladega, believe it or not. Same place we are tonight. We love Talladega, don't we? Tomorrow night, join us. Of course, tonight, Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Next week, by the way, we're at Sonoma Raceway. Tomorrow night, Nazareth Cup Series will be at Pocono Raceway. In 2 weeks, next week, we'll be at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Then, Thursday, it is Kentucky Speedway. We'll be there this Thursday night for Goat Locker Racing. It is the ARCA Series Thunder presented by Veterans for Life. I'll be on the call filling in for our good buddy Jacob Reeves, and I believe Stephen Bartlett said he'll be there as well. And if that wasn't enough, the Cops Truck Series are underway. They will be at Atlanta Motor Speedway this Friday night for the next race of Season 9 of the Cops Truck Series playoffs. And we are back at Talladega. We're getting ready for the green flag to fly. Double overtime coming up here on deck inside the ServPro 275. They're back inside the Geico restart zone. Let's see if Hubbard can hold off Williams. They're stride for stride, side by side. Got to hold on for about another 5-6 miles. And we're back into turn 1, Steven, to try to shoot it out again.
Yeah, Peyton Hubbard leading right now. He's on that bottom line in the black and red Chevy. Right behind him is the 14 of Darren Bruce in that Toyota. Trevor Williams up on that second line, middle line, as that third line now tries to get together and work it.
And here they come down the back straightaway off the super stretch. It's going to be now Hubbard stays to the inside lane. Williams will follow. Here comes Bernard Person, by the way. He'll now get some help from Lyons on the top side. Johnson in the middle. Tiffany on the bottom. And we're 3x3 again. Can they make it back to the tri-oval? And more importantly, to the white flag. Here they come. 3x3. Williams, Hubbard, and there's a caution, trouble in the tri-oval grass. No. Down below the turf in turn 2 or turn 4, and we're going to triple overtime at Talladega.
Wow, that was close. If it just happened like a second and a half, 2 seconds earlier, we'd still be racing for the checkered.
Adam Newton and Mark Nelson have crashed into the tribal turf. The triangle or the tri-oval grass turf in turn 4. Here's a look at what happened, and I think Rondeletto might have got a piece of it also. Oh, wow, a lot more cars involved than just those two. And triple overtime coming up. Stephen, how long has it been since any NASRA sanctioned body, for that matter, has had to go to a triple overtime finish? It's been a while.
It's been a while. I think the last one was at Daytona here a couple of weeks back.
I want to say, yes, sir. I want to say it's Daytona. So here, let's set it up for you. Triple overtime, and this is the way it'll go down. If the race gets green, and it will, and the caution comes out before the white flag, the field will be frozen by NASRA timing and scoring. As you're seeing the Pulse Poppers instant replay of what happened to Nelson, Mark Nelson, Adam Newton, Rondeletto, and others crashed here. So here it is. Listen to this. We're wondering if guys got to come down pit road, and some do. Remember, we mentioned some of these guys can't go. Hubbard's on pit road. Look at this. Peyton Hubbard was leading. He's on pit road. Remember, he said he's running out of fuel, Steven. They can't go the distance. Here comes other drivers and leaders on pit road.
And I think these guys in the front right now, Trevor Williams and Bernard Person, Ryan Johnson, they're probably using that clutch to get off the gas and maybe even turning the engine off going into the turns while they're under caution right now.
Triple overtime. You want the drama, you've got it tonight for NASRA Chaos down the stretch. It was a very clean, exciting ServPro 275. And then Dean Hopton, the fireworks began. It is time! As Stephen Bartlett says, all chaos just broke loose NASRA style. And that's why we got triple overtime here in Talladega, my friend.
And this being the third green white checker now, I really hope it doesn't end under caution, because they don't make it back to the white flag this time. As we know, the field will be frozen, and they'll end it on the caution flag. We don't want that for us. We don't want it for the drivers. We don't want it for our fans out there watching the race. So hopefully they can keep it clean and don't get that caution until after the white flag if it comes out again.
Williams in the lead, Person now second, Johnson, the tiny horse, back up to third. Dean Hopton, did you ever think we'd have some crazy finish like this coming up next at Talladega?
It's Talladega, my friend. Of course I expected it. Have you not seen Days of Thunder and all that? It's usually Daytona, but here, Talladega is just down the road from it. So absolutely, yes, I did expect it.
been a good one, no doubt about it. And obviously, we are not done yet. Again, as we mentioned, we will go to triple overtime. Here's a quick reminder. Leaders will come back to the Geico restart zone. The green flag will fly. If the caution comes out before the end of the white flag waving, before they get back around to the Darren Snell Gun Repair 1 to go, the field will be frozen like NASCAR does. NASRA does the same thing. At time of caution, timing and scoring and the lights, the wheel and engineering virtual lights around the track, they will determine the finishing order by that format. Now, if they come back to the white flag, pretty much it's going to be wreckers or checkers, and they're going to race to the checkers, Steven, and that's hopefully the end game we're looking for.
Yeah, hopefully, like I mentioned, that this will end under green flag conditions. We never want to see it end on a caution. That I know the drivers don't like it, and like I said, our fans watching the race don't like it either. So hopefully we can get this going and stay green.
That's our plan. That's exactly what we want to do, and obviously we want to get to the finish of this race. No doubt about it. As right now we'll try to get ourselves set for another restart. I believe the lights are off on the pace car. Drivers that had to come down pit road to take on fuel have done so. Let's set up your new lineup for you, by the way. Screaming Eagle Motorsports. I know the Screaming Eagles fans are out there in the chat box. They're cheering on the number 8, Bernard Person. He is up in front to the outside, the 1 car, the Uno Circle number Sheen. That is the driver of Williams. That is Trevor Williams. Trevor Williams up 28 spots. Bernard Person, 28 spots. Trevor Williams, 30 spots up in the front row. Ryan Johnson will be flanked to the inside with, of course, Lucas Lyons in the 18. Row 3 will find Darren Bruce. Don't count him out just yet. The Hiddenite, North Carolina driver, also for the Screaming Eagles. And to his outside, it is Colin Weatherholt. Whether he wins or loses, it really doesn't matter. He has already punched himself into the playoffs. By the way, Ryan Johnson in 4th as well. Then you've got Cofield on back. He's in 7th. Bo Tiffany is 8th. Latoro Lamperti, the Butcher, in 9th. And Ballesteros is in 10th. As we get ready to re-rack them, restack them, don't count out also these other guys ready to go back to the green flag. 5th caution done. ServPro 275 now ready to be decided. We're on lap number 9, working lap 10, an extra 10 laps in this race, Steven, as they come back to green. Final chance at a checkered flag restart is underway at Talladega. This is it.
Sure, that's not going to be good for that red and black car. He jumped out of line. You're not supposed to do that till you pass the start-finish line.
Yeah, there could be a penalty. There could be a penalty. We're going to find out from NASRA.
Lucas Lyons now out in the lead. Bernard Person right behind him. Ryan Johnson, Colin Weatherholt, Bo Tiffany, the top 5, all trying to make it work to get this win.
Lucas Lyons on the inside. There's Bernard Person up the middle. He's got Weatherholt now. Literally, Weatherholt could possibly steal one here at Talladega. Maybe Ryan Johnson. Here comes Bo Tiffany. McConey up the middle. They're going to work through the tri-oval into turn number 4. Can they hold their line? They will. Here they come, thundering through the tri-oval to the start-finish line. White flag in the air, presented by Darren Snell Gun Repair. Final lap at Talladega. This is it for the Marbles in 1, Steven.
And here we go, 4 wide. Got 2 cars on the 4th spot up there on the top.
And you saw him 4 wide, a little shot, and somehow they hold it together. They're wrecking. Trouble. McConey got into Bo Tiffany. They're crashing to the back straightaway. It's behind the leaders, and now the leaders are crashing. Lyons to the bottom of the apron. He took out Ryan Johnson, and we're still 3 wide for the win in 3. And we're not done yet. Here comes now Weatherholt up the outside. Here comes Hubbard making his move. Working off the corner. They're coming to the checkered flag. Here they come to the line. Weatherholt looking for a hat trick in NASRA this year. He works off 4. Hubbard, can he get there? Here they come to the line. It's going to be close. And just like that, Weatherholt wins here at Talladega.
No, it's Peyton. It's Peyton.
No, it's
Peyton got him.
Hubbard. Peyton Hubbard beat him. That damn camera angle did not show us what we needed at the finish. Aiden Hubbard is going to beat Bernard Person and Colin Weatherholt here at Talladega. We need to see another angle of it because that's just way off. I'm sorry. I thought Weatherholt had it.
I did too.
Let's look at the finish here. Let's look at this again. Watch Weatherholt. I literally thought Weatherholt had this race won. Sorry for the camera angles, guys. It looked like they were off in La La Land as here comes Weatherholt. Look at now the 51 of Hubbard. And there you see Stephen Hubbard making his moves, going after him. Person also in the mix. And, man, I really thought Weatherholt had it at the line. But look at Hubbard battle back up on the top.
Oh.
No, Weatherholt got
it. Yeah.
Won this. How the hell are they saying that Hubbard won? It's beyond me.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. The telemetry just told me that. That's why I was clicking the cameras on that. But yeah, it looked to me, and we saw the replay, gentlemen. We saw that, right? That did not look like the 22 won. The 22 looked like it won the race.
It's
but
Weatherholt.
It's Weatherholt,
won.
yes.
Yeah, go back in reverse again and stop it at the line. I want to say it's Weatherholt first. And that camera angle. Go to the start finish line shot. Go to right here. There you go. Now
it's
Paul.
too quick. It's too quick, mate. It's too quick. I can't do that. It's
right.
Too quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go back and have a look.
Anyhow, it looks to me like Weatherholt.
Look.
Hubbard and Weatherholt, Hubbard and Pearson, Lamperti and Cofield should be the top five. Steven, that's what I'm looking at from timing and scoring.
Yeah, I would agree. Why our leaderboard's not showing that, I don't know, but I would agree with your assessment that Weatherholt is the winner.
We don't have anybody doing burnouts either to confirm that one, gentlemen. Sorry.
Oh, boy. Let's take a commercial break. I'm going to check with race control unless there's something that we're missing, unless there's a penalty that we're missing, something that might be of changing the finishing order. We'll find out, and we'll definitely sort this out for you guys. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
It took us a while to get everything sorted out, but we are back with you. We wanted to make sure we did our due diligence to check with our NASRA officials and make sure that everything was 100% complete, and it is official now. Though timing and scoring showed Hubbard as the winner, Colin Weatherholt is the winner of this race. Peyton Hubbard will actually, I believe, finish in second. Bernard Person is going to finish third when this race is over. Let's grab the winner and grab Colin Weatherholt. Colin, we were kind of like, hey, he's already won races. This will be your third win this year, by the way. Regardless of what happens, you're in the playoffs. But, man, you want to win. You want to win races. And this one wasn't easy. Triple overtime, the battle between you and Hubbard in person at the finish. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Wesley. It's it's almost unbelievable. I've been able to win 2 of these races. I don't call myself a Superspeedway racer, so it takes a crazy amount of luck to be there at the end, and maybe a little dash of talent not to get turned. But it's mostly luck, and thank those guys behind me for not completely turning me. I know I was trying to lane swap them and stay ahead.
Hey, Colin, this is your second win in a row. You won last night in the virtual Japan at Motegi. Then again tonight. How does that feel to win 2 in a row?
Like I said, it's just a huge shock, and I'm really, really thankful because I can't believe it worked out.
Colin, can we go back to the finish of the race, man? Obviously, it seemed like it was a very calm, quiet race, and then all of a sudden it was just, you could feel the tension picking up with probably about 3 laps to go, and then I guess it's kind of like just hold on there at the end, man. What was the scenario to make it through, but obviously to win this thing?
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, I spent most of the third stage a lap down. I lost the draft on the restart. I got a speeding penalty exiting the pits and was sent to the end of the longest line, and unfortunately that long line was really long in single file, and there were some broken cars in front of me, so I ended up losing the draft, pitting early, coming back out in the pack, and just staying on the lead lap after they pit. We got a really lucky caution, and track position was just really lucky all the way through those last few cautions. And yeah, at the end, I couldn't believe I saw him wrecking on the backstretch, and we still had a run on the top, and I knew the move was to just come down to the bottom. And like I said, those guys behind me raced me really clean. They didn't hook me or anything. They wanted to win just as bad as I did, but everything was just really respectful and high octane for sure.
No doubt about it. Of course, Colin Weatherholt wins again. Here's a look at some of the craziness to finish on the back straightaway. McConey and Bo Tiffany having an issue. And then watch the bottom of the racetrack at the apron. Well, he's rewinding it again. I was going to say watch the bottom of the racetrack. On the bottom of the apron, you're going to see now what happened between those guys up in the front. And this kind of, I believe, Colin, opened the door for you as you see Lyons and Ryan Johnson take each other out down to the bottom of the apron, and it was like, I don't want to say the parting of the Red Seas because you're up on the outside lane, but it was kind of like a gift, if you will, because for the most part, it seemed like the bottom of the racetrack was where you needed to be, but once that happened, the outside lane opened, and you just powered right through on the top.
Yeah, I was glad to look out my my left monitor and see those cars go down the track instead of back up it. I was racing for impact because I couldn't really tell what happened. I saw a car turn sideways and half expected one to come flying back up into me. So about a second went by and took a deep breath and I mean, like I said, it was a super speedway finish for sure.
Colin, congratulations, man. Big win, third win, 2 in a row tonight for the World of NASRA. He won last night of the DSR Electric Truck Series. You already know you're going to be seeing him in the playoffs. Another win of the number 22 of Colin Weatherholt, Thunderbolt, whatever you want to call him. Let's grab Peyton Hubbard. He'll finish second. Peyton, you were just this close. Timing and scoring even said that you won the thing. Oh, man, just if you had to go back and do the finish of triple overtime for that last restart over again, what would you have done differently, sir?
Man, probably would have taken fuel after the first one instead of risking it all the way to the after the second one. I think I had 1 lap of fuel left, so I had to go in and take a little bit, and surprisingly came out P14, so that still gave us a little bit of room to work. I knew it was possible. It just ended up working out. Pretty lucky getting that white.
Yeah, Peyton, you were able to stay up in that top 5 most of the race. How hard was that to stay up there for you?
Talladega seems to work out pretty good for me every time I run it. I've ran it a lot in the truck. I haven't ran it that many times in the Xfinity car, but out of the super speedways, Talladega seems to always work out pretty good for me. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the width of the track helps a lot, especially with sometimes some of us can get kind of left and right, trying to follow the car in front of us. So it was a lot of luck, but yeah, I just really like Talladega as a whole.
Peyton, I want to say that you're kind of new to the NASRA brand. I don't think I've ever seen you on my announcer roster before for the Xfinity Series. What's your take of tonight's race, and did you have fun, and can you run more NASRA events with us?
Yeah, I'm here for I would hope the full Xfinity Series. If not, maybe the first 3 quarters of it until the Truck Series starts up again. It's kind of what I'm doing here. But yeah, this is my first season with you guys, and I think this is race number 3. I know last week it ended pretty early on lap 12, and Kansas hit it up pretty good for me. But yeah, this was fun. It actually went green for a lot longer than I was expecting it to. Sometimes when you have a big field like this, especially at a super speedway, you get a lot of cautions.
So we can say first NASRA top 3, top 5, top 10 finish, obviously, for Mr. Peyton Hubbard. Peyton, thanks for your time, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
All right, let's grab now, I believe, Bernard Person, Screaming Eagles. Oh, he was so close. Bernard, you're taking this race, man. It got wild, and you were literally looking for the opportunity to go for a kill shot and pull an upset win here, buddy.
Yeah, it would have been nice. I know, we stayed in the back most of the race, and, super speedways is mostly stay out of trouble and hope that you can get up there in the front and battle for the lead.
By the way, I want to let everybody know, Scott Allison, to answer your question, there was no penalties. We thought there were some penalties on the restart or possibly for the finish of the race, but there was no penalty after checking with NASRA Race Control. That was one of the reasons why we had an extended commercial break before post-race, Steven. So, again, no penalties as you got a question for Person in third.
Actually, I do not. I've been trying to think of something to ask, and it just can't come up with anything.
I got one for you. Bernard, how crazy is it that it's a calm, cool, collective race, the triple C's, if you will, and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose to make it down to the stretch of the finish of this race?
Oh, it's wild. It's wild to sit there and watch everything happening in front of you, and hopefully you can stay out of that trouble.
Well, a good solid run, man. One last question. I'll let you thank anybody you want to or give shout outs. But what's your take of the Screaming Eagles esports team? And it's definitely building momentum week in and week out with the series.
Oh, I love it. I love being a part of that. Dean put together a good bunch of teammates.
All right. Well, there you go. There's the thoughts, of course, of Mr. Bernard Person. He'll finish third, and that'll wrap him up here. By the way, we're going road course racing next week at Sonoma. Lefts and rights and chicanes and carousels. And look at this! Back straight away. Watch them. There you watch Lyons and Johnson getting together, and here comes the opportunity for Weatherholt getting through. Got the push from Hubbard. Got around Person. Here comes now the one of Williams. He got blocked by Cofield and others, and when it's all said and done, Colin Weatherholt, Stephen, picks up the win again here tonight. His third win of the season in the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series, and his second win of the week. Remember, he won last night in the DSR Electric Truck Series.
Yeah, what a race. We had a lot of lead changes. We finished with 2 of the drivers in the top 3 that we hadn't talked about much at all this season, and just performed very good, and was able to take second and third. Of course, we saw our NASRA chaos at the end, like we normally do at these super speedways, but overall, it was a good, clean race.
It was a wild one. Let's now take a look at the results as you're seeing now, the way they finished. Obviously, a recap of your top 10. Peyton Hubbard, the winner. Bernard Person, Weatherholt, Lamperti coming back to finish 4th. Cofield in the top 5. And then, of course, it was Tucker, Williams, Johnson, McGill, Ballesteros, the top 10. There you see the rest of the rundown behind the top 10. Noah Rainwater, Darren Bruce, Rondeletto, Austin Evie. There were, 25 cars on the lead lap. Jacob Reeves will have to settle for a top 25 finish. There's everyone else there at the end. By the way, Cody Dodd and TJ Moore were the race directors when the race ended, obviously. So, Dean, your final take of tonight at Talladega. What a crazy one when it's all said and done. Another crazy wild finish, triple overtime. And Colin Weatherholder, as you call Thunderbolt, wins again.
Thunderbolt's got the bolt, of course, is crashing his way across the line in a positive way of crashing. He's the first gentleman to join the three-peat club. Not racing wins here for the NASRA schedule for the Xfinity Series. You can see he's got Daytona. He's got some big ones, hasn't he? Kansas is sitting a trophy on his cabinet, and now he's got the other big one of Talladega, baby. The Dega will be joining the trophy cabinet for Colin Weatherbolt.
And can we say something in closing, Stephen? We saw Daytona up there at the top. We see here at Talladega, that is 2 super speedway wins out of his 3 wins this year for sure as well.
Yeah, like he was saying, we don't see him in that top 5 very often in these super speedway races. He's really just not strong in them, but luck on his side. Both of these races, one at Daytona, one here at Talladega, he had the luck on his side and was able to pull out the win.
Of course, don't forget tomorrow night, NASRA Cup Series presented by TLC Incorporated and Premier Racing Setups. We're going to be in action tomorrow night at Pocono Raceway. Make sure you can join you and yours for the TLC Incorporated 250. Coverage will begin at 8:55 Eastern Time on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Thursday night, Go Locker Racing ARCA Series presented by Veterans for Life. I'll be in the booth with Dean Hopton and Steven. We'll be at Kentucky Speedway. Love Kentucky, the 1.5-mile racetrack there in Sparta. Atlanta, the next round of the playoffs for Season 9 of the NASRA Cops Truck Series on Friday night. Don't forget, next week we will be off next Monday, and then we come back next week with road course racing at Sonoma, Charlotte Motor Speedway next Wednesday. Those are just some of the upcoming races. And by the way, don't forget, Thanksgiving Hangover 350 after Happy Turkey Murder Day on Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Friday night, November the 29th. It is a NASRA special event. Get signed up if you haven't done so. Big money on the line. Steven is going to be, I think, racing in it. I think he said he was. He might not. He might be doing Christmas shopping. NASRA Thanksgiving Hangover 350. Make sure you make your plans to join us. I believe Jacob Reeves and Tyler Dittmer and myself will be in the broadcast booth for that big show, especially coming off of that big special Halloween 500. You'd like to know more details about NASRA? Go to NASRA-racing.com. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, as well as on X. And while doing so, hit that subscribe and like for the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Dean Hopton, your final take of tonight's race, buddy. Fun times.
Go over to you there, Jacob. You've done it right. Not Jacob, of course, Wesley. And Stevie. Jacob was the one that finished a little bit further down the field there. But Peyton, Bernard, 27 positions gained too. Don't take it away from him. Did a fantastic job. Neck, nose to the end. Almost got it done there. And, of course, the Butcher. He finished at P4, sorry. Didn't get a chance to have a bit of a chin wag with us in the booth. But watch out for the Argentinians.
Solid finish, and obviously, Stephen Bartlett, your final closing thoughts of Talladega, but obviously next week it's lefts and rights and carousels and chicanes and more. Road course racing is a completely different animal than what we see in the round track world of NASRA.
Yes, it is. Again, this was a great race. A lot of lead changes, had a few crashes, kind of what you expect at Talladega. But I'm looking forward to Sonoma. I may actually tune in and watch that race because there's not a lot of leagues here on iRacing that will actually run Sonoma. So that'll be a fun one to watch, and can't wait for it.
Hopefully Jason Morales will be able to join us in the booth. If not, we'll be here somehow, some way next Tuesday night. Be good to one another. God bless you all. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening or daytime if you're in Australia like Dean Hopton. Of course, thanks to, Mr. Brady LaBeouf and Cody Knott behind the North American Sim Racing Association, behind all the NASRA touring brands that you see in the world of esports of iRacing. Thanks again to Bigglestein Hopton. For Stephen Bartlett, the Viking, this is Wesley Outland. Here he comes, Colin Weatherholt. Win number 3. He wins a wild one in triple overtime at the ServPro 275 at Talladega as he burns it down and celebrates. We'll see you again next week at Sonoma.